I sound with it. When I hit the ground, 100-mile finish. My moment now ain't no mouse in us. I'm on the prowl and my style fitted. My time, give me high fives. Get a picture of the wise guy. What's a wave to a high tide? Never stop when you my size. Man, this moment. I said it's my moment. I said it's my moment. I came here to own it. Man, it's my moment. Man, it's my. I said it's my moment.
G'day everyone, welcome to the bloody Gauntlet Week 2. And of course we start with the challenges. Jake, you ready for today?
I am yummy. Bit sleepy, recovering from probably COVID, which seems to be hitting everyone, but we'll get it done.
The thing is, I know what you get up to during the week, so I'm not surprised, to be honest. I'm not surprised, but you weren't there for the end of last week. Were you surprised by the full bracket run by Pioneers?
I mean, they didn't look amazing against gaming gamers, but the Super Sub mock seemed to get things done. I saw them, classily bragging on Twitter about winning with a sub, so I think everyone's going to be a bit upset about that one.
That's right, Fiver. Jake says that you're terrible and Mock is 100 times better. I think that's the general gist of what we said. Now, we are here in the Challenger, of course. We've got to have a look at how we get through these 5 weeks. $30,000 prize pool, 5 weeks. And then a finals that will be happening once we've tallied up all the points from that. So really important right now in these early stages to get some of these points on the board, Jake.
And it's important to make those deep runs because the seeding is so important. You get automatically placed pretty similar to where you placed the week before. So it's important every week to show up.
There's a couple of new teams that are coming in through the challenges, having their first chances, and of course a lot of return faces as well. Serrani have come back. I hope they're actually playing today, because last week it wasn't called Serrani because they were playing with a slightly different roster, but this week they're here, and hopefully they are actually participating. We will be covering Odium versus That's Crazy in the first match, but down the bottom another new one, if I recall, is the American Apples.
Yeah, we got Apple, who is from America, so creative name for them. And I'm excited to see...
Lens, that's probably named after Cheery.
It is.
That's Crazy, has Crazy on the roster. So I'll tell you what, Jake. When I used to make the names for my teams as well, and the first, I don't even know if I can use the name of the first team. We had a guy called Chicken Wang on our team, and I called us the Little Wangs. And the second team that I was on, I called it Team XD because it had the Beast XD on it. So I can't really complain about the lack of naming, but I also can't complain about the fact that we have some awesome Rocket League coming up. The first match is going to be Odium versus That's Crazy. Odium made a pretty significant run last week.
They did decent. They got taken out by Tiki Taka, so they got their automatic qualification here. But I'm excited to watch That's Crazy. They came, I believe, 3rd in the Challenger Series, and only team they lost to was Serrani, which makes sense. So these guys are looking strong.
In losing to Serrani, that's nothing to really put yourself down for. And I think looking at the rosters as well, Akami Crazy, DX7 for That's Crazy, of course. Full of teams, full of players, I should say, that a lot of people talk about the potential of, the mechanics of, and yet I guess players that still maybe need a competition like this, maybe need the Gauntlet in order to get to the next level, which will probably make for them this a really important series, because again, as I keep saying, for the challenges, for the Gauntlet, the thing I love about it the most is that every single match is an elimination match. So if you lose, you're straight out and you have to qualify again.
Well, these guys have been handling the pressure so far, but you're right. I mean, Akame in particular has great mechanics, that freestyler background, so it's good to see him competing more and hopefully realizing that potential.
I feel like he's been competing for forever at this point. He's played with Daisu as well in
Maybe I've just started watching the bubble scene more, because I just see so much of Kame now.
Yeah, you see a lot of him, and he is more recent to the scene. Maybe expectations high there. I've really liked Crazy, of course, who's had some great performances of his own in recent time. But they're going to be up against Odium, who were looking crash hot last week. Kernsey, Jorix, and Aziz. I don't think I got to see him on stream. We didn't cover the first 2 matches of them for sure. So we'll see how far they can go today.
Aziz was looking good, although as I say that, he's very slow to that challenge. Crazy's immediately getting the first goal for the series.
I have to call out Crazy and see him immediately get the first goal. Of course, it wasn't really set up by him. Demo in the backfield, a little outplay, and also maybe a little overcommit that we won't talk about too much, will we?
I know, you call out Crazy, he pops off. I call out Aziz, he turns his brain off apparently. It's not the best start, but, you know, warming up.
It's just proof that I'm the smarter caster, I feel like.
Oh, but here comes Aziz. Look how quick he was there, setting up Jorix. So I'm sorry, Yummy, we're back to 1-1.
Look how fast he was to beat somebody
So
who had
quick,
gone
man.
up so late that literally driving forward would have beaten him. He could have taken the controller off and still had the same effect. But credit to Aziz for being in the right place and taking advantage of the mistake in the defense.
A few mistakes starting out early. You can see we have Nate in for DX7. He was in yesterday as well, I believe, so they'll be feeling good with that roster, and it's been a while since I've seen the Batmobile.
Yeah, somebody switch over. Get DX7 in as the sub, and throw Nate in as the core roster over on Wikipedia, where if you want to keep up to date with the brackets and all the weeks, it will be updated on Wikipedia as well, so I'm sure if you type exclamation mark bracket, it'll be out there.
Is Jorix playing fast, setting up his teammate. Oh no, what is that?
Okay. It's fine.
Aziz somehow gets back.
Very surprising, but both the players on That's Crazy didn't have too much boost, and Aziz used the last little bit of his to get back to it.
Such a throwback seeing the Batmobile. It moves in such a strange
You're
way.
obsessed.
Of course, it's weird. I like it. We just see Phoenix all day, every day, but the Batmobile, you know, it's had its place in history.
I think it's still relevant. It's still just a long car, a big old plane. We'll see how Nate goes. He's the one player really on this pitch that I don't know too well. He's already got some extra power from that Batmobile, but a little touch from Kernsey to keep it out of danger.
Going for the Psycho. Didn't quite get the power. Is his. That is a sad aerial if I've ever seen one. Kame just floats it in.
I'll be honest, a lot of these shots have been a lot softer than I've been expecting. I thought Aziz would get to that. He probably thought he got to it because it was floating for so long. He didn't have the boost to stay up there.
The back and forth game. Both teams looking aggressive, but making mistakes
Here we
in
go.
defense as well. Here's another chance for Nate, but Aziz is back this time. Gets demoed. Kame is going to try and center it for his teammate.
Maybe that's the problem with the Batmobile right there, is that Nate couldn't really get underneath the ball. It feels like when your car is turned sideways that your Batmobile almost reaches the roof, so very difficult to get underneath. Another chance this time, because he's flat and he's actually horizontal to the ground. There's no way he can get over the top of it. What are you doing?
Oh, the net opens up. Jorix is given a freebie. It's falling apart, but that's crazy.
Aziz did just manage to get a bump. I thought Akami had missed it pretty much solo. He took a rough line to that one. It's a tied game and a bit of a crazy one, I'll say, in the first 30 or 2 minutes and 30.
Definitely a back and forth match. Jorix gets it over one. I think the team to figure out their defense first will be the winner in this series.
Just anything first, really. I'd say at this point in time, it's been pretty rough, and I wouldn't say it's necessarily even a defensive issue. It is more a kind of midfield over-attacking issue a lot of the times. It's leaving the net open, so you need to just kind of relax a little bit, calm down, do what a lot of teams do maybe, and just figure out the groove into the game before sending too many.
That almost opened again. You are right. There's these counterattacks that are cursing both teams. Mechanically, they've been solid enough in defense. It's been pretty back and forth as well. Neither team getting
lovely.
pressure. That's a beautiful pass, but a better save.
Yeah, the pre-jump or pre-flip pass almost works out perfectly. It was right on the dime, but No power on the shot. Going down to the other end, and defense now for That's Crazy. He spent a while here as Aziz gets a good pick up. Akami makes the save. And Jurix will be just coming through. This is maybe a pressure play, but a miss. It's not going to help out That's Crazy. They're starting to run low on boost. It's going to be Crazy himself. He managed to pick up the corner boost. Can't pinch it in, though.
See just how much space there was still, and then the follow-up is gonna be good. Nate gets the aerial. Odium is scrambling back and cannot get the save.
Look, it's a good counter-attack, but how many of these goals has somebody just gone flying past? And in this case, it was Aziz, Jake. He just completely misread the aerial bomber. He had 100 boost. He's flown past the ball and is attempting to boost back.
He's too quick for his own good, Gummy. He's struggling. He's got to attack.
You're really at Aziz's corner right now. Too quick for his own good. I like that as an excuse at the moment.
Well, he's got to make up for it now. Guernsey going for the edge dribble, but Army, good challenge.
Chance now for Crazy to get that 2-goal lead. Big clear down and maybe a safer play. Maybe a hold play just to send one person forward, get the big clear, get a little bit of pressure on. Crazy up early. That's a huge touch with 40 seconds left and the 1-goal lead. Crazy's even looking for some of those bumps. Maybe a bit over-aggressive this time, but Jurix, can he make it work? He's got the play past one. It's an open net, and Crazy gets back in time again.
Crazy makes it look so easy. Gets the second touch, the third touch. Gets Odium in their half. Sets up Akame, but it might be an overcommit. Crazy again there to get the clear.
A tight first game. Game of mistakes more than anything else, and felt like Crazy has really stepped up in this last minute or so. And he can play like this throughout the rest of the series, like he has in the last minute, last 40 seconds. He might just carry his team to victory, but for now, game one, it's just on the lurch. One little touch to the ground. This should be it. Crazy again, showing why the team is named after him. The first game goes their way.
So, Yummy, you clearly started the meta of naming teams after players. Did you name them after the best player on your team as well?
Yes. Yeah, very much so. Very much so for the two teams that I have. I definitely never named them after myself for a reason.
Oh well.
Just like the Chiefs would have never been called Tyrant Esports.
That's fair. Droopity droopay.
Yeah.
Oh well. Nate, look, he's playing well as the sub. Looks solid. Getting those reps in for the Batmobile, but certainly, like you're saying, that was.
though, am I right?
We gotta see him play. You're right. He's a very mechanical player as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen DX7 around a lot. He kind of looks like another one of those players that could step up as well. And again, Nate doesn't even have a Liquipedia page. Really know next to nothing about him. Put up a good showing, but even still, Nate could have hit a couple of good shots in the first game. He had 2 good shooting opportunities that he didn't take best advantage of.
But, I mean, his team still got the victory. You're right, though, it was tight. I think I still would have favored That's Crazy, who looked generally better the whole game. But if Odium can fix their mistakes, they're certainly going to be back in this, because you can see... Oh, no, did he miss? Oh, God.
Just proof once again, if Jake says anything, such as, I'm looking out for Aziz, he's their pop-off player, just don't listen to it, because Aziz... outside of the 1 goal that he managed to score in the first game, having a little bit of a worrying time. Akami, oh my goodness, manages to get back down to it. Thought he was gone for all money.
That's Crazy getting some awesome saves, but it's not enough. Jorix from the side outpaces everyone and will get the opening goal.
Much better play, and most notably, there's a much better rotation out coming out from Odium that managed. So even if that play didn't pay off, they would have managed to be able to defend afterwards. And that's a stark contrast to at least the beginning of game 1, where it felt all or nothing.
Better rotations in general. I mean, they were ready for that pass. Last game we saw they weren't really able to keep pressure because they were either rotating way too far back or, like you're saying, rotating too far forward. So starting to find a nice balance.
passing plays attempted as well as Jorix just focused on the boosts there. Thought he could get both the mid boost and make a play on the pass, but costing him 0 boost here on Kernsey as well, who does manage to get the pass across. Crazy coming through with another defensive effort, this time from the demo.
Unable to get the follow-up, however, although Odium are fumbling this ball too. Crazy is going to set up some offense now, but decent wall clear from Aziz.
A lot of play, just keeping the ball very close to each other so far, especially from That's Crazy, as Crazy himself gets a crazy demo in mid-air. It's very surprising that he was able to use his flip to get that extra case.
That is an awesome pinch, although it goes straight to Crazy, who smashes at the other side. Kernsey's back, but Akame's there. Again, lacking the power though. We're missing that from a lot of their shots.
Odd double commit that comes out from Odium as well. Have to scramble back now on very little boost as Crazy has the pass in the center, looks for the bump as well. Jorix just getting up for the challenge. Akami slows it down. This is where he's best. Aerial play, a solo play, and a flip reset play, but defense coming out, and Aziz maybe had a chance there.
Missed the redirect. It was hard. One of those shots where all you want to do is add power, but they still have the lead. Feels like they've started to get their defense in order as well, but we know just how clinical That's Crazy can get once things start flowing.
Crazy had time on that ball, didn't get the power he wanted, so the pre-jumping Kernsey is able to be first to that pass. Now it's a 2v1 with Akami. Akami looks to slow it down. Nate gets demoed on the other side, so the pass option disappeared at the same time. Now they find themselves, That's Crazy, 1 goal down and starting to get a little bit more desperate.
Desperate, but I do like what I'm seeing as I say that. They instantly get scored on, but they were pushing forward. I mean, that was a nice counterattack, to be fair, but definitely not the most heads-up third-manning out of Akame.
Yeah, it felt like they were stretching further than they needed to, considering they were only 1 goal behind and so much time on the clock. But massive credit to Aziz. He got himself into a good position, does so again off the kickoff, cheating forward, and manages to get a 3-goal lead.
It's too quick, and we've seen so many kickoff goals the last few weekends, Yomi. What is going on with OCE?
Last few weekends? Like Grand Slam as well?
Week. Yes, actually, yes. It's been going on for a while. These teams are not showing up on the kickoff.
Or are they showing up a lot on the kickoff?
No, the goals are horrible. The goals are shameful.
What about that goal? You know, the kind of the kickoff that ends up going behind the first player.
Yeah, that's the exact goal that's been happening like non-stop for every team. It's silly.
Well, more notably, what do you think they need to change in that kickoff to fix?
I was always a fan of, like, if you're going to do a super close cheat, the boost grabber should at least turn infield, because you know, it's just a bit too greedy in my opinion. Or you can just go for a bit slower of a cheat, but that has its own risks as well. So you got to choose. But certainly the close cheat and turning outfield has not been working in the slightest.
Managed to get 1 goal back. That's Crazy. Get it 2 more, and the desperation when they were 1 goal behind is maybe not good signs. Their ability to make a comeback, and that's an even worse sign for them. Jorix popping off.
This feels like it came out of nowhere. Nate with the panic touch, and Jorix gets an awesome 50 to follow himself. Nate has no teammates after making that touch. Tries to rush back, but it's not in time.
So rare to see that. A 50 where you actually keep your momentum through so you can get the double off the roof at the same time. This is maybe what we were missing from Odium, considering their performance last week. Crazy getting bumped back into the ball twice. Poor Crazy.
Crazy's still looking good. Certainly creating those chances. His is. Gets the double, but it's well over the net. I think you're right, Yomi. Odium are looking good, but I do think it was their defense that kind of hurt them last week as well, and their inconsistencies. We've certainly seen that already in this series.
Well, I like the fact that they have adapted. Their rotations have been so much cleaner throughout this game.
We can't say anything. We can't say anything. It immediately goes the other way.
Kernsey Well, look, in that play, Jorix and Aziz had played very aggressive on the ball. And then Kernsey played the most aggressive third man you could ever see. He was really just trying to go for an extreme hard read on the wall. And once you're up on that wall, like, it's very difficult to deal with anything that goes mid-pitch because you have to get off the wall, recover, get back into mid. And so it doesn't really matter too much because in the end, it was a decided game already.
Still felt a bit unnecessary, but I think it was just that confidence coming through after all the great goals we saw from his teammates. Kernsey probably wanted to get involved as well. You can see 3 assists for him on the scoreboard. And we have a tied up series again.
This had a much better game as well. Lack of mistakes, I'd say, more than anything else, Jake.
Yeah, that is what we've been after. You can see he has the high highs for sure, but the low lows definitely cost them in game 1.
Just like a game of Rocket League, as long as you got boost, you got some high highs, and in this case, that's crazy. They've had some lows in the last one. They need to bring it back. It's a tied series, best of 5, so not many more chances.
I had a quick look. I don't think That's Crazy played last week.
They did not, yeah.
They did not, but that is a beautiful goal to start out from Kernsey, the man we just called out.
Kernsey is his, only maybe Jorix now is the player that could step up and go to that next level, which is a scary thought. As Odium now scoring 5 out of the last 7 goals.
Looks like it is running away. That's crazy. They missed the opportunity. The demo was there, but the synergy was not.
It was really tight angle. That's crazy. Maybe he could have snuck it between the defender and the goalpost. A chance for Akami, who... my biggest criticism of Akami so far is that he's trying to slow down almost every attack he makes, and that becomes very predictable. I want to see him speed up or change the pace. So far, he's really wanted to get a slow first touch, look for a flip reset, maybe look for a fake on a dribble, but he's not really catching anyone off guard.
You're right. You can mix them in, and that is great to have in your offensive toolkit, but not every single time. Definitely Akame hasn't been playing as well as we normally see out of him, and his team probably needs him. Down a goal here.
The interesting attack that came out there from Odium too. Very much let's hit the ball at the goal and see if it works out, and funnily enough, That's Crazy not ready for it for most of those touches. Maybe a sign of That's Crazy's defense. Not quite being so forethought wise or forward thinking, because very much almost ball chasing at this point in time in that defensive half, hoping to make the next play on the ball and not thinking about what happens if my teammate 50s. What do I do if they force out a touch?
To be fair, out of Odium, you're saying they did kind of just hit the ball at the net, but that is that variety we were just criticizing Akame for. They've been very pass heavy, very solo play heavy, and there's a beautiful pass to set up an even better shot.
Hard to get that pop forward. Maybe could have found a better angle into the center, into the midfield, even back towards his own half. But Jorix has been taking advantage. He strikes true. It's got a 2-goal lead. Odium really starting to run away since the beginning of game 2.
Feels like they've fixed their defense. Although, as I say that, Nate pretty much had an open net there. He won't be happy with that one.
Went for the pass, and realistically, the shot was better. Especially with the demo coming in, so a bit of crossed wires, as you'd expect when you're playing with your sub, but maybe even just a standard play in most circumstances.
Don't want to overcomplicate those goals. Maybe the comms weren't there, maybe he didn't realize it was completely open. Kernsey looked like he might not have had that. It's not the best clear, but Crazy misses the shot.
Crazy's accuracy is just not being good enough in order to get these 2 goals. Come back halfway through the game in the back half as Crazy is looking once again for the setup. Jorix reads that first touch, and now it's in trouble. Crazy not expecting the miss, and Kernsey gets goal number 3.
It's tough to look at. Jorix does a great job staying in the play. Crazy didn't expect that, but Kernsey committed the whole way.
It's it's just wild the number of times in this series we've seen someone, especially in games 1 and now game 3, just flying straight past the ball because they're trying to play too fast. I mean, Akami didn't have anybody, attacking him at that point in time. He was rushing for no reason.
Has felt like that has been the big thing Odium fixed. It felt a lot more composed in game 2 and 3. See, it's starting to set up some pressure play now for them as well that was lacking earlier.
Woo! Love that from Aziz. And I apologise officially to Aziz for making so much fun of him in game 1, but that's mostly Jake's fault for big upping him. Really blame him. Really mental stress him like that.
He's the new hot and cold player. I mean, I saw Sprat come back, and I was expecting those, massive pop-offs or massive open net misses out of him. But he's been consistent, so we need a new player for the entertainment. There's Jorix getting a nice goal.
Speaking of that, a lot about the Gauntlet has always been having a high-quality tournament, but with less pressure than RLCS. A chance that where you put more effort in and it means a lot more than scrims, so you're getting valuable game day practice, but without, needing to replace your seat in your pants every single time you play. And I think that, of course, has benefited Sprat the most, who's retired, and he said to me that he hasn't been so used to playing in tournament, of course, but that there was a lot less pressure and that really helped him perform. And I expect the same for a lot of these players.
Especially as they get more used to the format. You're saying there still is that intensity of every match being an elimination match. So I certainly do love that as well.
There's often a lot more pressure on the lower end teams too, who they're trying to prove themselves. I mean, some of these teams, I can guarantee you, won't exist by the time that RLCS begins again, because they'll be changing and they'll be looking as individual players to get into that little bit better team, a little bit higher team, a better performing team, and this is a chance for everybody as a team and as individuals to really show off their skills for the next season.
The OC roster shuffle never stops. These guys are always looking for the next best thing. You're right, certainly out there looking to play their best, get those good placements. That's crazy. None of them can be too happy right now, getting smashed in game 3. Nate's going to get a nice goal. It's too late, but it might be a good consolation heading into game 4.
I don't think there's going to be any consolation there. It is a great goal, though. I think that's just a consolation for Nate, especially as the sub, to get in and have your teammates rally up behind it. You know what that's like when your sub, Yummy Cheese Man, scores an absolute blinder goal. You're like, yeah, because you didn't expect it to happen.
Good vibes all around. I like it for Nate as well, because like we saw earlier, he did seem to be lacking that confidence going for the pass plays. So that's a nice goal. Could make this game, or this series, competitive again.
You think that means that somebody should pick up Nate for core roster?
Nate's playing well. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell he's the sub at the moment. I mean, it's certainly crazy having a standout performance, but Akami and Nate both looking solid. And,
I don't know. I don't think Akami's looked solid to me. I think Akami's been the weakest link. Weirdly enough, for that's crazy. And that's unexpected for me. He should be a player having a large impact, especially in the offensive end. But he's made some mistakes, some simple mechanical mistakes in the defensive end. Been a little bit too predictable, as we said, in that offensive end. And so we'll see. I think if I was That's Crazy, Jake, I'd be going, all right, Akami, just balls to the wall. Try and play as fast as you possibly can, and just catch everyone off guard.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think everyone playing faster would benefit as well. Because, I mean, they won the first game where it was that crazy, chaotic style from both teams. And it feels like the pace has slowed down, and it's allowed Odium to step up with these awesome team passing plays. So I think that's crazy. Need to shift the game direction for sure.
Especially when it comes to That's Crazy and seeing Akami make a mistake. It feels like they're playing very heavy on him not making a mistake. But if you're on the precursor, the assumption that he's going to be playing as fast as possible, you can play for those mistakes and expect them to come out. I don't want to talk too much about them because all three of them were there. They were there in the defense. They just didn't get the quality touch.
That's like the worst possible way they could have started this must-win game.
Hey, they could have got scored on in 5 seconds. So could have been worse.
They held on for that extra second. They'll be taking that. That's a nice floor pinch.
Actually, I guess you could argue the other way is that you know, if you get scored on quicker, you have more time to make the comeback.
100%. Plenty of time left in this game, but I mean, it was just such a tough goal to watch go in. Everyone missing, everyone flailing around, and Odium did not look like they're slowing down for a second.
It's more notable that in the last 2 games, and now 3 games, it is 10 goals to 3. So it has been very, very one-sided to Odium. They continue their run from last week, and hopefully this week maybe we get to see them have a big performance. But they are once again on the same side of the bracket as Tiki Taka, so they're gonna have to get past that demon as well if they have hard to make that run.
It felt like that team certainly was beatable for them. Negative was just playing out of his mind despite having no hours the past month apparently, but here we go. It's off the back of Crazy again, playing very fast.
Do you want to talk about Aziz right there in just a little bit?
I don't, Yummy. I actually don't.
Okay, you don't?
Crazy.
Well, I will then, because Aziz had a free open clear and just flipped early, completely messed up his touch. Should not have been a goal, but once again, it has been a game and a series about who can make the least mistakes, and Aziz on that team is probably the one most likely to have been making those costly mistakes.
Crazy scared him. Crazy was coming in hot. It's tough for Aziz. But you're right, he's got to make up for it. He has been making up for it, generally with his offense, but that edge dribble wasn't the best. Gave possession away.
Crazy getting another chance. It's going to go down instead, and now Aziz is beaten out by Nate, who said has stepped up, especially the last 2 games. Jorix put that ball a little too far away from himself. Leads to a 50 in the center. And the defense just going to go for the clear. Nate over Kurdzie. I was scared for a second that he was going to miss that, but he's done very well.
Odium are not looking as composed as we've seen the last 2 games. It's back to that scrappy Game 1 style, but the speed is there as Ziz makes up for his mistake and gets the lead back.
Well, Crazy also helped them out. That touch backwards, just going right in the hands of Jorix. It's a 2-1 lead. 2 minutes 52 left on the clock. Gonna have to see if That's Crazy can fight back here.
Goes over the head of Akame. Akame still struggling with the pace of this game, needing to step up. We know he has it in him, but just today not showing it yet.
Oh goodness, what a fake. He's taken them out, and he tries to fake out the last. Aziz just playing the ball.
He may have had that if he just took the shot. Ooh, I mean, the double fake is everyone's dream. Has to get back for the save. Still plenty of time left in this game.
I do think that if Akavi took the shot that there still would have been a saving chance, but it would have been a higher percentage play. That hindsight is, of course, 2020. It was a good play overall from Akami. Still a little too unpredictable as that save. Nate getting in, keeping their hopes alive.
Ellie, that post was not his friend there. Either way, they're setting up some pressure. That's a massive miss. Where did that come from? Jorix is just calmly under the ball. He's got plenty of boost. It's good.
So he just manages to get a 50. Minute 40 left on the clock. That's open. Nate again, out of nowhere, gets the goal. He is absolutely popping off for That's Crazy.
What happened to Kernsey? Oh, I see. He was getting chased. Ended up on the ceiling. It is a nice shot from Nate. Tight angle, good power. Gets it past the defense.
Very easy, especially with the Batmobile, to hit that more central on the net. And if he was, then Kernsey does recover in time to make the save. So good placement. A tied game once again. Nate being that offensive star so far for That's Crazy. This is looking for his own chance. We're Crazy. That's what he's done well. Up to the ball quickly, getting challenges, getting 50s, and shutting down plays.
Always in Odium space. Well, I say always. Oh, in the games they look their best. That's a massive miss. Kame still struggling, but everyone from Odium surprised themselves.
Hit that aerial training pack. Maybe the what are the 3 levels? There's rookie, intermediate, and all-star. Is that what it is?
Sounds
No, pro. Rookie, pro, and all-star. He needs to hit that pro training pack at this point.
Oh, that's a toxic one. Nate, try to get the clear. Kame, that actually could have been on net, but Joris is back in time.
Joris is missing. It ends up being a fake, and he has got that central. Odium looking to finish it in 4. As Kernsey hits the backboard, Aziz try to keep it in. Again, a little too direct on the net. Leads into Akami's hands. Kernsey looking for the 50, fakes it out instead. Jorix in position. It's Aziz instead that rotates in. Looks to get behind for the 50, but Akami takes it low. Good read coming out. A massive bump from the superstar Nate. Prevent him from getting out. Still some pressure on, but 10 seconds. If they can survive that long, they'll have the kickoff and they'll have the boost.
Okame had it on a platter, can't get it on target, but he's still on the backboard. Drops it down to his teammate, but Jorix comes in with the challenge, and we have OT.
There's a chance that bounces up, and if it did, that's crazy. It all committed. Odium might have been able to get it on 0 seconds. Instead, we go to overtime. It's an opening. The fake out in front of net does not deter Crazy whatsoever as he misses it.
But he's going for demos, causing some panic. Kernsey doesn't have that. Nate has a shot. It's not on target.
There's a lot of misses going on. Maybe a nervy affair from these two teams. Let's see a lot of mistakes leading to goals. I haven't done so this far as now we have players backing up the mistakes. At least that's a solid improvement from both these teams. Crazy has that height, looking for the flip. Akami in support, gets the bump. And that's a goal! Akami scores. They tie it up. They're going to game 5.
Crazy out of nowhere. The air dribble bump on Jorix. Akame with the point blank shot. Kernsey almost gets to it, but not quite. That's Crazy getting the comeback in the series, taking us to our final match.
That is crazy, Jake. That is crazy. And Akami especially, I like him pushing up there, playing it almost like a safe push-up. They had Nate as a third man. He was playing really well in that position to give them confidence. Overall, probably the best play we've seen from That's Crazy, even if it wasn't the most spectacular goal.
Absolutely, I mean, crucial goal, crucial OT to win, backs up against the wall, and Akame got it, the player who's been struggling and was off that pace, what we've been lacking from him. So game 5 could go either way right now.
Especially with a few of those mistakes coming back from Odium. They're a team that, I don't know, maybe have the nerves, maybe expectations of making a long run once again. And even as I was talking about maybe trying to take down Tiki Taka, well, That's Crazy. It scored another one. 2 seconds off the kickoff. A complete flip from the last game.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same kickoff goal every single time. It's just the close cheat gets beat. No one's in net, and you can't afford to make those mistakes in Game 5.
You know the real meta? Don't go for the kickoff whatsoever. Just backflip for boost. Get that boost advantage. He's had another kickoff goal. No, it's a massive, massive miss from Crazy.
Crazy almost looked like he didn't quite believe in himself, but it got to him. He's unable to find the finish. But here's Odium still struggling. Look at them all backpedaling. Kernsey, it's not the best touch middle, but Akame was backwards.
Something you said there really makes a lot of sense, and that's that whenever I see Crazy in particular on the ball, but a lot of the mistakes that are coming out, it almost feels like people are deciding what play they're going to make before the play even is getting close to them. And that's what's causing, these early aerials that miss and plays like we just saw from Crazy, but he's made up for it. He's got the second goal. He's got a good angle here. What a time to step up.
What a beautiful shot. Generated awesome power, even though he was aerialing from under it. Great play, great timing. They're 2 goals up now, but plenty of time for Odium to make a comeback.
You know who that shot reminds me of, Jake? Somebody from the early days of Rocket League, a little man named Drippe, who was just so good at getting up from awkward angles and getting massive spikes on net. He manages to do it there, get the 2-goal lead.
Just when his team needs him, here's Nate. Almost had an open net. Something is clicking with That's Crazy right now. They're all playing very quick and causing a lot of problems for Odium.
is getting out for those passing positions. What a commit. Kernsey was moving forward for the demo as well. One man back to try and temper the tides. There's still 3.5 minutes. There's no need to throw so much aggression just yet, but looks like that's what Odium are looking to do. Odium chasing out bumps even in their defensive half as Kernsey's looking for Jorix, who's gone forward for the bump. A big clear out, a fortunate one as well, but Aziz plays it patient.
But it continues
Demo
this
massive.
pressure. The demo, Nate wasn't there. It's continuing. Now it's Crazy's turn. You can see Odium starting to run low on boost.
It's going to be up to this ball early. Jorix can't get it over the top of him. Awkward for Aziz, who manages to get it past the diving Crazy. Kernsey now. Angel, Jorix, crossed paths. Double commit coming out. Just shows the desperation here for Odium. They sensed victory. And at that point in time, it feels like that's where everything fallen apart. Maybe getting too nervous.
It was looking so smooth, so effortless in game 2 and 3 and most of game 4, but you're right, Yummy, as soon as they had that chance, they started to look more awkward. Things aren't flowing as smoothly. And that's Crazy. Have absolutely taken advantage of it.
Definitely looked maybe even not nervous, but desperate being behind. They don't like that position. That's what's causing this sense of urgency throughout. A good save again from Nate, keeping Zats Crazy in a 2-goal lead. And now as the clock ticks down to 2 minutes, this is where Odium is going to start really stressing out.
It's some decent pressure here for Odium, but that's Crazy are hanging on. Their rotations are solid as well, and they're just kicking time down.
Love that from Akami. Criticized him a lot for slowing the ball down, but this time just get behind the ball, and this is a bigger miss from Nate.
That is a disaster. Things were going so well, the rotations were there, but it's very reminiscent of a goal we saw earlier in the series. Just too quick. It didn't need to be.
What kind of advice would you give Nate there?
Oh, just chill. I mean, clearly some nerves going on there. That is not a consistent showing. And with 1.5 minutes, it might just get worse.
Oh, Crazy bumping Nate. Doesn't actually hamper him too far, as Nate actually even gets an opportunity towards the net. 1 minute ticking down. Odium know that the mistakes might come out. Crazy found a massive angle. More touches going past Zakami actually. Who's missing? Nate.
That's backboard.
Jorix gets the clear. Crazy all the way back, trying to get this. Just out of dodge for now, but it's a massive read from Kernsey. And Aziz pushes it through. A mistake from Crazy. And a massive dunk.
A massive dunk. Kernsey came out of nowhere. That's Crazy overcommitting as a team in that offense with the lead, with low time, and they get punished.
That's the kind of play can make or break a series, make or break a game, and it's turned back as Nate gets a kickoff goal.
This was so close to a kickoff goal for Odium. The close cheat worked out because he got a desperate demo at the end, but what a shot from Nate to get that in the bottom corner.
Is the, desperate demo, or was it a complete purposeful play? Considering how many times that kickoff has happened, I wouldn't be surprised if they started picking up on that fact that the ball was going behind the defender or behind the kickoffer. 1-goal lead once again, Aziz to tie it up.
That'll be frustrating for Odium. Right as they get back into this game, a kickoff goal gets them back into this must-win situation. Aziz has so much time here. The pass is way too obvious.
He was so far in front of the ball as well. It's just a rough launch more than anything else. It prevented him from getting power. Now, no boost here on Jorix, otherwise he would have been able to follow up on the good flick that he played. Akami, no boost. Aziz maybe didn't know. He stole the boost away. Now a big win from Crazy. That might be enough just to seal the deal. One last play. Kernsey goes straight for the flick. Not the players. Crazy puts it down to the ground. That's Crazy goes through, and Nate once again takes the MVP.
Well deserved. Some clutch goals. Got the series winner as well. But certainly, I mean, Akame was the big one to step up in terms of his individual performance in that 5th game. But also Crazy, I mean, all three of them had a great performance to close out the series.
Nate putting a great stamp. I think Crazy was consistent throughout for That's Crazy. I hate that there's Crazy and That's Crazy, actually. I'm going back. Whoever names their team after one of their names is an idiot.
There needs to be at least some nuance.
And Odium, you know, both teams made a lot of mistakes. It was a series based on who would make the least mistakes. I think Odium, coming off that, knowing that they lost a very close game 5, will look back and just be like, we made so many mistakes. If we just didn't make a few of them, they would have won. So they're going to be frustrated with that game 1 in particular. I think that was probably the worst of them.
And they're not going to get their auto qualification back to the Challenger. They'll have to grind it out in the Open next week.
No chance to go back against Tiki Taka. Try and get into that prize money. They've fallen all the way back down to the Open. They'll have to work their way up. For now, we do see Odium going through into that next round. We also saw Uncheerful make it through, as well as Chiaroscurus getting a forfeit win. And currently, as far as I'm aware, Serrani and Reborn Titans still in the middle of playing their match. So we'll find out how that one goes. We'll come back after the break with the second round of the Challengers.
super heavy, I'm moving steady right through the city, lifted. My foot up on the gas, get up out the way, or watch you on the mission. Ties tied away, better ride that, or you swimming with the fishes. Try not to get offended. My spaceship is coming, my base steady rumbling. I'm facing my drugs, so I space and my problems is coming together. I'm pacing my steps, and it's so crazy. Got patience and time and work, yo, it's a fact I'm true to this shit. You can tell by the rap I'm truly gifted. Look, no lie, I'm hot. Perp smoke all in my eyes. I could barely see you through the shade. Who shade on my shine? You know, you moving backwards. I promise you lose.
Yeah, how do I sound with it when I hit the ground? 100-mile finish. My moment now ain't no mouse in us. I'm on the prowl and my style fitted. My time, give me high fives. Get a picture of the wise guy. What's a wave to a high tide? Never stuck when you my size. Man, this one, I said it's my moment. I said it's my moment. I came here to own it. Man, it's my moment. Man, it's my, I said it's my moment.
Close game 5 to start us off, but the Gauntlet manages to continue with the challenges, heading towards those semi-finals with Tiki Taka of course, waiting, as well as Gaming Gamers, who had that long run last week, Jake. Who's going to make the long run this week? Is there somebody who could do a Gaming Gamers type run?
Yep, Gaming Gamers. I believe in them again. They were awesome.
Well, I mean, Gaming Gamers make a small run, but what else? I think Serrani have everything in them to make that long run, of course. Who, as not a wild take whatsoever, but I think they'll make it through today if they're playing. Although I will be saying, they didn't clean sweep out. In fact, they're still playing against Reborn Titans, who don't have a very well-known team. So maybe not great signs early on.
Maybe not. I mean, they're in the same side as Gaming Gamers as well, so one of those teams will get knocked out today. So I'm excited for that match.
We'll be heading
if it happens, like you're saying. If it happens. 2-2 at the moment. Wow.
Oh, 2-2. The last update I had was 2-1. And for those who don't know, just since we're here on this screen, Reborn Titans is Corrupt, Bans, and Cynical, and I kind of know Corrupt and Cynical. Corrupt gets talked about as a big up-and-comer player from OCE. I've seen Cynical around a little bit, have no clue whatsoever who Bans is.
I haven't heard of Bans either, but they're doing something right, or Serrani are doing something wrong, like you're saying. Either way,
I like the second one. That's a great take, Jake.
Well, it's true. I mean, what? Serrani, Kaka coming from ground zero. You'd expect these guys to fly through the Challenger Series.
Especially like any team with Kaka, I feel should be consistent.
Something's going on, Yummy.
And you guys are going to find out nothing about that Serrani roster because we are going to be covering That's Crazy versus Uncheerful. And that's right, we're following them on. Dover said, well, it's going to be a wash between Serrani and Chiaroscurus, so we're going to do That's Crazy versus Uncheerful Ends, despite me begging to do the other series. But you know what? We get to see more of the Nate gang.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't begging. You were getting replaced in the break. What are you talking about?
Yeah, my internet went down for a little bit. Literally good timing, I will say, because just after the break, our housemate was vacuuming and knocked some cables out of the router. That's why the break was a lot longer than it was meant to be as well. So,
yeah, I mean, you're in an esports house. How does someone make a rookie mistake like that?
Well, they did apologize. They knew what was happening.
That makes it worse.
Well, anyway, it does happen. And, I'll say that last series was a little bit like hitting the router with a vacuum cleaner and having the internet go down. I have much higher expectations with two teams coming through off wins, Uncheerful Ends as well, with experienced players like Morse and Cheery on the team. Should be a good run.
Yeah, I mean, that last series delivered everything. A back and forth game 5 with the comeback to boot. I'm hoping for something similar.
Look, back and forth game 5, great. Back and forth game 5, where the players aren't missing the ball every 5 seconds. Perfect.
No, that's just too much to ask for OCE. You should know this.
No. I have expected. I'm sick of this, Jay. I'm sick of, it's OCE. You're going to miss every ball. No, you're going to hold them to a higher expectation. I am willing to believe in the players enough that they should be better and that I will hold them to a high standard.
Look, I just enjoy the Rocket League that comes. Either way, I think it was fun. This series is looking a bit more solid at the moment.
The first
pretty
40
back
seconds,
and forth.
Yeah.
No big mistakes yet.
Yeah, last series, the first 40 seconds didn't go so well. So, especially Akami, I'm looking at the most here, who had a rough start to the last series, started to get into the groove in that game 5, and maybe that factor as Nate's missed one was pretty open.
It was tough though. He had to get up very quickly to not crossbar it, but
Batmobile's fault.
Batmobile's fault. Actually true, to be honest.
I said again, he likes to rotate his car sideways to the shots, and I feel like that's a large part of why he doesn't have a lot of vertical accuracy.
You heard it here first, Nate. Gotta change how you're playing. Here's Morse. Tell you what, uncheerful endings, they're not really shooting any shots on target at the moment. The pressure's decent, but no shots.
I'm okay with that. You don't need, in fact, realistically, pressure means not taking shots, but if you let the pressure go too quickly, then you're just going to get countered, and Nate makes up for his miss earlier. A good read off the corner, awkward positioning from the defense, despite all three of them being there in net.
That was too easy. I'm not sure how that was so easy from Nate. Certainly uncheerful endings can't be happy with that. Yeah.
Is there, anyway, 1-0. Maybe up to uncheerful ends to keep that going. That's crazy. That touch forward, and it's in. Morse managed to get that over the top of the defense. Crazy. Once again, making quite a simple mistake.
Nakami not going for it. I'm not sure why he didn't. He then also struggled to save it near post. So not the best defensive effort out of him.
I think it's understandable to expect that Crazy, especially considering how consistent he has been today. He hasn't been that player who's been looking for mistakes as a kickoff goal comes through. I don't blame Akami for expecting that he'd get better.
Oh, that was a bad double commit out of Nate and Akame though. I don't know what happened there. These kickoffs are just not working.
Okay.
What's the next update they need to make to the kickoff?
Well, like you were saying, they're going for the bumps to recover from those disasters when it goes over them. I don't know how consistent that is. I just want to see a more boring kickoff here.
Love some good boring play, good boring kickoffs. Because realistically, games that are started by kickoffs end up being not as exciting to watch, of course. Pretty hypocritical of me, because when I coached Reciprocity, that's all we ever did. So we played. What the hell is that?
That was an own goal, was it?
It was sick!
that was something else.
Nate says controller DC. Yes, it DC'd as he flips through the ball. No! No, admin. He didn't call pause. It's just he was
it's
just
all
he's
good
trying.
now.
All good now. No. Sure.
Our admin is so.
It's fair because, like, especially these teams that are probably not used to playing a lot in an admin pausable game, to know that you just call pause or call P or whatever.
He was clearly joking because it was such a bad play.
The admin's still paused. They're trying to figure out how to save their dignity right now. Falling for that one. That is that's hilarious.
I think what even adds to that too was Nate missing the goal just before that. And then managing to score a banger in his own net.
Yeah, that is not what Nate was after. And now 2 goals down. They've got a bit of a comeback to make now.
I'm just trash talking with the players at the moment instead of casting. So professional.
Why does Morse think you think he's sour?
The thing is, I actually don't think I ever confused him as sour, but I've often confused like Morse and Moss and I don't know, all those M players, because like for me, unless a player is like on a specific team for a long time and is like consistently doing well as a core member of the roster, then I kind of like end up
Yeah, I ego them. I say I confuse them. I kind of put them all in the same bucket. You know, the same thing used to happen with Fiber and Fever.
Wow. They've always been hard to pronounce, though, to be fair. Here's Nate making up for it. No controller DC there, but
Yeah, do it at your own end, mate. Oh, wait.
Matthew, not the best defensive effort out of him.
A late read from Matthew, but back to 1 goal chance for That's Crazy to make what I thought was not going to be a surmountable comeback, given how the 2-goal lead went away from them. The pass in from Nate, I think Nate's been the biggest show of us, the biggest surprise packet for us today.
Yeah, Nate's been awesome. Certainly does not look like the sub. He's been popping off on both ends of the field, literally. He's got to do a little bit more, though. They're still a goal down.
40 seconds. Will they be able to score? Morse, quite experienced at this point in time.
Nice touch.
Oh my goodness, that's
Oh.
it! He's found the gap underneath!
That was sick. He's got so much power off this first touch and followed it so quickly. Matthew again struggling on that wall.
Oh, I don't blame him. Matthew's like, okay, he's so high up in the air. I can cover the shot that's on the net. And realistically, you think if it is bouncing, if it is managing to get underneath, it's going to bounce back up into you. It's surprising he's able to get it underneath and yet still get it under the crossbar.
Absolutely sick shot from Crazy. The carry performance continues.
Hey, whoa. It's the Nate carry performance and the Crazy best support performance so far.
I'll give it to Nate. Nate's been popping off. Akame as well has looked better.
He did MVP out the last 3 games of the series as well, man. Just to give him the stat bonus as well. But we're going to go to overtime in game 1. What a good comeback overall from That's Crazy. Look down and out for a second there.
Awesome comeback. On cheerful ends aren't going to be too happy with it. It's looking already great off kickoff, although it's going the other way.
Nate
What's to say?
had Matthew bearing down on him. Matthew was looking to maybe crunch that through, look for the 50 behind it. Very impressive. Cheery in an awkward spot. This could be a goal. Bumped out, but Morse just manages to squeak across.
Pressure continues, but Nate gets dunked by Matthew, who gets a floor pinch. His Crazy back barely gets the save.
Crazy huge pinch off the wall. Manages to keep it into that overtime. Akami now bearing down on Matthew. Gets the demo. Nate will be following up. Akami getting 2 more bumps. He's bumped all 3 members. Is it going to breed enough room? No, Crazy couldn't get around because it was so close to that backboard.
Cheery! Past everyone from his own corner.
How many times does this have to happen, Jay?
Oh, the cheat from the front post. You're right. Over the head again. That is real.
It's just that expectation almost that first man is going to 100% win. Second man rotating into the net just pushes forward, plays so aggressively, and that's what leads him to be in front of the ball. Can't get a touch, but you know what? As much as I could be disappointed that we have another one of those goals, it was a good play, and Cheery stepping up there for the team named after him. Be a bit of a theme for today.
MVPing the scoreline. It's disappointing for That's Crazy, though. It was an epic comeback, but can't take it out in the OT.
They deserve to lose for own goaling, though. Am I right? If you're doing such a horrific own goal, like, you should lose. I'm just...
Nah. Then the other team didn't deserve it, young. Free goal.
Well, I don't agree that the other team doesn't deserve it if you deserve to lose.
I guess that's fair.
Very negative outset from you. I'm meant to be the negative one here, Jake. You're meant to be all sunshine and rainbows.
We're both negative today.
Both old.
Comes with age.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting start to this one. Very important, I'd say, for That's Crazy to get off to a flyer, and especially not have to reverse sweep against what looks like a challenging team to defend against more than anything else. As Morse does have the support behind, and the bumps coming out have been the exception here for That's Crazy.
Nate sets up Crazy. The shot is high. But they're going to set up some pressure. Matthew gets the bump. It's going to set up an opportunity for Cheery. The challenge is there.
Good touch up from Crazy. Doesn't have the support in the midfield, so has to follow up his own. But Nate is there chasing. Akami in the center slows it down, but doesn't get the touch that he wants. He wants to keep that close to himself, maybe look for the flick.
Crazy touches it down. Akame almost wins the
Oh,
race.
by the
Nate's
pass.
going to get it. Pass was so on. Everyone was backwards, but he goes for the shot and completely misses.
I wonder if that was a kind of misunderstanding of what the opponents were doing. Certainly a pass opportunity gone, begging. And felt halfway between a pass and a shot in that play, and maybe that's the inexperience of Nate, because he's been playing exceptionally as an individual so far. Crazy has Akami. Find the pass across to him. Morse gets the touch over Akami. Nate rotates in. Matthew always looking to get it past one, but what rotations coming out from That's Crazy. Morse has not got enough on that one. Akami says, thank you very much. First goal to That's Crazy.
And one of the first just basic pressure goals we've seen out of any team today. Just forcing that double commit, eventually opening up the net, and Akame just walks it in.
There was a nice little extra step to that pressure, and that was that they forced the third man to go. They recognized the double commit happened and that there was an opening there. And that's sometimes one of the harder things to do. Often you don't see teams, especially at this lower level, react to a double commit, react to a position of the opponent so much. They play too much in their own position.
Yuri, that's a shot on target, and it was incredibly slow, but somehow goes in.
Still maybe a surprising amount of power though from that wall rather than anything else. Easy to have boost.
Yeah.
If he had even just 10 boosts there, he's fine.
Yeah, not sure what happened with his boost, but good job capitalizing.
It's got to be like
The
one of the
mistake.
worst spots to be on that back wall when you have zero boost. I mean, sometimes the worst spots just ever in the defense or on that backboard, but to have it on zero boost, it doesn't really give you that chance to accelerate on the ground and maybe make up for it by grabbing a pad.
We've seen several goals already this series where players on that back wall have gotten punished for it. So you're right, it can be awkward. There's almost a nice pass, but Crazy's there for the intercept.
Very committal being on the back wall, but it does make you safe, or safer from demo place. Big advantage. Allows you to dive at certain balls as well without boost if the ball is high up in the net and you don't have any, but got to be able to make the right choices on it. It's a little bit of a grindy game now in the midfield. It's just what you expect when it's tied up, and you see that That's Crazy don't really have a chance to afford to lose this game. So they are playing it very safe, though that's not the best clear. Crazy will make up for it with a good half volley clear down to the other end.
Smashing it, Akame follows, with Matthews there. Gets a beautiful touch to himself, but there's Crazy attacking this ball. Morse is the only one back. Gets the challenge, but Nate's there now. They're looking so close to scoring. That's Crazy, but every time, uncheerful enter there.
I love how every time you say their name, it sounds like you're saying that you're wildly impressed. And Cheery, been quite impressive so far this game. 50 seconds. Next goal may just win it. Counter-attack comes out from Crazy. Rough touch from Matthew, but it manages to find its way over the top of Akami. Now Matthew with a follow-up. Fakes out one. Looks for the 50. Crunches it through. They've got the lead.
That was sick. Out of nowhere, it falls to him. Great first touch and the fake, just making Nate so awkward. Getting that 50 into the far post.
I will say, I haven't been too impressed with Matthew at the defensive end, but that shows that he knows how a defense should work. Fakes out the first one, just completely toyed cat and mouse game with the defense until it was inevitable that he would have the advantage in the 50. Yeah, getting a touch forward, almost a pass over to the opponents. They weren't expecting it.
The goal is Nate. This is the ball. They need a goal. There's only 20 seconds left.
We'll do so.
And Cheerful Ends are looking calm.
Chance from Crazy. Looks forward. Morse dives across. Nate has an opportunity as Matthew was just demoed, but he doesn't get the power. He's looking for the pass across. Morse has taken out his own teammate. Crazy has one last opportunity, and Akami's gone flying past. It was wide open.
Oh, what was that? Again, they rushed themselves. How do you miss that?
Akami, that's like the third time I've seen him flying past the ball that's just floating right in front of the opposing net. The defender was getting bumped out, so there was every opportunity to seek that in. How does he go underneath? How does he manage to get so far underneath the ball that he hit it backwards? Like if he missed the ball completely, that's understandable. He's somehow so far in front. I don't understand how he didn't get scored at.
Oh, it was such a beautiful setup as well. Crazy out of nowhere, getting that perfect touch into the ceiling. But it's all for nothing.
Just as a note as well, we do have an update on that first round match. Serrani did manage to take down Reborn Titans in Game 5. So they're moving on. They currently just started their series against Chiaroscurists. And you know what, Jake? I think we might see a little bit of an upset there, given how the first round went.
Chiaroscurists did get that forfeit win, so they may be coming in a little bit cold,
true.
but you're right. Serrani don't seem to be at their best today.
Speaking of that, we're heading towards Game 3 for That's Crazy. And I think at this point in time, it is safe to say that Akami's having a bad day.
A rough one for Akami. We have high hopes for him, for good reason.
Yeah, why did
He
we
is on
speak
point.
so highly of him at the beginning of the day?
Oh, it was just
Oh, that's
me, don't
why.
worry. That was a nice goal. Akami sets it up with that slower touch, like you've been talking about, but it's Nate who just comes flying in confidently for the finish.
Extremely, extremely odd though. Cheery and I think it was Morse, both hanging out, looking to cover the net. And for the flip reset play, you kind of want to have somebody he's covering early. Quick counter-attack. Morse off the kickoff. Well, it's 15 seconds, already 2 goals.
That is a bang out of Morse. And look at Uncheerful Ends. They're doing the kickoff I talked about, and you can still get goals. Nothing too boring about it.
Oh, Jake, you're so smart.
Thank you. Players should listen. We want less kickoff goals.
When are you getting back into coaching, Jake?
Need to get OC back on the map, huh?
I don't know if you'd be able to do that, but maybe coach That's Crazy on how to do the kickoffs. And speaking of, another kickoff goal. That's 3 right now.
It's a nice shot from Akame. Smashes it into that bottom corner. Uncheerful Ends.
Are you just saying that because your expectations have been incredibly lowered after last time?
We gotta be positive, you know? Take it one step at a time. One step at a time, though.
I did say you're meant to be the positive one, so keep up with that one. Crazy. Still got to be positive with him. He's been very consistent throughout today. Maybe the player most likely, most looking to watch. There we go with Nate. Yes, it does squeeze through. That's Crazy. Fighting back in the series.
Nate is still looking so good, getting so many goals by himself. I mean, that was sick. And certainly a massive overcommit for Uncheerful Ends.
Any goal that I've seen has been a 50 into that kind of follow-up play, and you don't get demolished down. Almost another kickoff goal, maybe some room for Uncheerful Ends to improve there. What a shot from Cheery.
That is sick. Beautifully done. Just patiently saves his flip, times it at the right moment. No one's saving that.
That's the best thing I've seen all day. Oh yeah, I love that. Just there's been better goals, but there's something satisfying about that infield pass, perfect shot, top right corner. Oh yeah.
Whoa, and then Morse almost gets the tight double. Unable to get it done. There's still a goal down. They're looking good. Cheery with the flip reset, but gets no height on it.
Just got to use the flip to end up going past the ball in the end, but it still created so much pressure. Nate avoids the bump, and Cheery wasn't ready to follow up. And maybe a goal opportunity gone begging, but they'll still go for round number 2. Matthew over the top. Crazy this time, has to commit because there was a bump on his teammate. Moving forward, Cheery looking for the pass in the center, too far forward.
Pressure's looking good, although miss in the midfield. Sakame get the ball forward. Now Nate gets it to the other side. That's a big missed opportunity there.
And still, they're very quickly on the counter-attack, Uncheerful Ends, looking to tie up the game and maybe try and seal the series 3-0. Crazy still have a lot of work to do in the defense. Gets that across, but Crazy has no boost to follow up with. Matthew has the 100. Off the wall, gets the extra touch past 1. This is awkward as Akami can't get the power. Cheery has the flip. This is great defense coming out from Nate in particular. Very patient on that backboard, very trusting of Crazy, and that was necessary in order to make the most of their boost.
And holding on to this lead. Still plenty of time left in this game. That's Crazy. Do need to reverse sweep. It's going to be tough, but Nate has stepped up in a big way.
Awkward defense there as well. Just a few times for Uncheerful Ends where they've had 2 people covering the same option. Nate is again stepping up hugely as the substitute, able to keep the defense alive and top scoring for his team. Crazy with a good first touch. Morse just come through to shut down the play. Matthew attempts to do the same, but Akami has managed to beat out 2 of them. Go back to the center.
Quite a few misses out of Uncheerful Ends. Feel like they're rushing their shots. They're certainly setting up some awesome pressure. Now here's that's Crazy's chance. Might be a bit of an overcommit here, but looks like Uncheerful Ends is low on boost.
Still plenty of time, maybe chances at counterattacks realistically, as Uncheerful Ends have spent so much time in that Crazy's half. They're kind of happy to play the defense. This is caught out over the top of Akami. He manages to get a good touch along the ground. It's the power to keep it away from the Uncheerful Ends 3-man attack.
Small forward. Nate is controlling. He's been very calm in defense. Going for these extra touch, but he gets dunked. Goes all the way to Akami.
Fast aerials going to be key for Uncheerful Ends to maybe take players out from That's Crazy. They're not very good. Shot on from Cheery. Is there a follow-up? It has to be good. Akami doesn't get the power. That could have been what seals the deal. It'll instead be this Crazy getting through off a bump.
Look at Nate not giving up here. He gets it once. Chases that demo. Morse has no chance. Crazy's there for the finish. They get their 2-goal lead. And with low time remaining, they may have just done enough.
Still just going to talk about Nate. What a performance he's had today as the sub. He got them into the tournament as well as he was playing instead of DX7 throughout the open qualifiers. Now he's putting them in a position where they get a chance at least that reverse sweep.
But again, Uncheerful Ends their finish. Finishing has not been there. Right, Nate has been the star of That's Crazy for the moment. 25 seconds left. They're stalling time right now. Looks like it's working out for them.
Oh my god, Nate, you bloody beauty! Gets the 50 infield pass and Akami will finish it off. Doesn't go flying past that one, Jay.
No, he got his act together.
I definitely feel like there was a moment there, you see it just as he's arriving to the ball, that he just slows down, just really ensures that's going to be on target.
You have to. He's in his confidence rebuilding phase. Here's a double touch opportunity. Saved out by Matthew. I think Uncheerful Ends are going to be not too cheerful about this one. It feels like they've had so much pressure.
It's not the first time you've made that joke.
It's an easy one. But to be fair, look, they had so much offensive pressure, but they missed so many of their shots. They can't be happy.
A crucial one as well for That's Crazy, especially since Akami would say has been struggling every now and again to get a big victory, and one where at the end you saw them willing to take a few more kind of crazy chances and go a little bit more aggressive without overdoing it. I think that's the kind of confidence boost that you, as you said, that maybe Akami needs.
Well, going into the next match, they got to be feeling good. 5 goals is a lot. So Uncheerful Ends, they've got to figure out What's been going wrong? How do they convert their advantages, and how do they stop these counterattacks, and how do they stop Nate?
That's crazy, who made the end of series comeback last series. Really fought tooth and nail. They have to do that once again, but Uncheerful Ends, they've got a little bit of wiggle room to figure things out. They lose this game though. What's the kind of mentality that you have after kind of being on that precipice of a reverse sweep? It's often very difficult to shut down once they get the two.
Brutal, and these reverse sweeps, they come so quickly in these best of fives. They're going to be feeling the pressure here, but that can sometimes be their detriment.
An early start will be crucial for a team like Uncheerful Ends. The last game get away from them too early as well. Matthew gets beaten by Nate. Cheery looks to slow it down, almost fakes it. He's going for the dribble. Well, the defender's a little off guard, but they manage to react in time. Morse doesn't get the pass across.
Another missed shot though. I'm still worried about their finishing. Able to get it on target. This last game, they're struggling right now.
A few moments of crossed wires with Cheery and Morse there trying to look for a bump when there's not really an angle to take a shot on net, so the bumps on net doesn't really help out that attacking player. The pass option would have been better, but they have been able to build some pressure here. Huge save comes out from Nate, who has been making miracles at both ends at this point, and Akami will get a clear, but it should be a passing opportunity. Pre-jump out from Morse, hits the roof, perfect down to Cheery. What can he make of it? He doesn't get it past Nate, the brick wall!
How do you? He pre-jumps to get it past his team. Making up for him in his absence there. They keep the ball out. What has happened? That's crazy. Their defense is insane right now.
Alright, who's playing on Nate's account? Who is this person? Is this Drippe coming back from the grave? Because Nate has been absolutely phenomenal. A chance to bump, but Crazy gets over the top of it. Everything that Uncheerful Ends do is not panning out.
No, but the pressure is still there. It's reminiscent of last game, but they're still unable to score.
If Nate had more boost, then that would have been a goal. And how many times has Nate just kind of like thrown his Batmobile towards the ball and made sure to get... It was a terrific own goal that you just saw coming from a mile away. As soon as he jumped and he's in front of the ball, the only possible option that was go in, and Crazy, who has been performing throughout today, has one of the biggest blunders he could have made.
Nate's not going to save that one. That is brutal. After some insane defense, they can't stop their own teammates.
Oh, Jesus. Well...
You're done.
I don't know what to say about that one, so we'll just continue on. With Uncheerful Ends, a one-goal lead, exactly the position that I thought they needed to be in. Let's not let themselves get too far behind early on and get into those desperation stages. So, Matthew, desperate dive for that one, doesn't quite get the touch, maybe get into center. Cheery takes it high.
Again, they can't seem to hit the ball on target, and there's Morse flying past the ball. Uncheerful Ends struggling with their accuracy right now, relying on the other team.
Been a little bit of bang ball back and forth. Everybody giving up possession very, very quickly. A rough touch against the backboard. That's almost giving another opportunity. Crazy, who scored that last own goal. Now Cheery trying to get behind. Morse will instead be the player to make the play. Akami, I will say I was very critical of him slowing down the play at the offensive end, but don't quite mind him doing the same thing at the defensive end. It's not about outplaying people so much there, rather just keeping control, and he's looked much better trying to slow it down out of the defense.
That's Crazy. Have had just an awesome defensive showing, but with their back against the wall here, they need this goal. They only have a minute left. The pressure continues. Uncheerful Ends still can't get a goal. But, again, the pressure, it's all on That's Crazy.
Well, it was odd there that they stretched so hard to get a goal. They made a risky touch against the backboard that's giving the ball away to your opponents, and a very low chance to get around that ball and put it on. And with the 1-goal lead, you don't need to take risks like that.
No, we've seen that a few times out of teams playing risky with the lead. They're going to get some opportunities now, but it's a soft shot straight into the opponent.
Cheery for the bump. Crazy now at the clear. Gonna have to be a good touch from Morse, and he does beautifully. Gets that first one. Maybe doesn't have as much boost as I originally thought. Pass into center, over to Akami. Cheery has to make a crazy save. And it'll be Matthew into center. Once again, giving up possession. Just need better touches here if they want to hold on. It looks very close. 1 second. Crazy has to find the angle, but it hits the ground, and Uncheerful Ends moves on through.
He almost had it. Uncheerful Ends off the back of the own goal. Get through. They played well. They had some awesome pressure. I'm still a bit worried about being able to convert that pressure, but as the day goes on, they might warm into it.
Well, That's Crazy are a team that will make a lot of mistakes throughout both the games, of course, both series we saw today. So, Uncheerful End's playstyle, very controlled, is very smart, very likely to win against That's Crazy. And I'll even say that if That's Crazy end up being against Tiki Taka, I feel like they're even more controlling and more solid overall. So maybe that's where they would have ended in the same way. But our Uncheerful Ends move through. They have one more series to try and win and get at least into the prize money, because top two today do get that money. Jake, this is the end of us today. What's last thoughts?
No, I'm excited to see if Uncheerful Ends can take down Tiki Taka. Feels like they're beatable, and I'm also looking forward to the other side of the bracket for Gaming Gamers to hopefully continue their good run.
I want to see if Serrati make that step up, but we'll be going to a short break. I don't know who's taking over. Probably somebody silly and dumb. Probably somebody very American. We'll be back right after this break.
Smoke all in my eyes. I could barely see you through the shade. Who shade on my shine? You focus on my step. You moving backwards. I promise. You lose me in the process. Then I pop up on you like tie-dye. One side, my side. You ride or you die. Choose wise. Shoot for the star. And I ain't missing 10 for 10 like my shoe size. Send me up. I'm here to stay. I play for keeps till I'm gone. They like what he on. I been in my zone, dog. And you should know that I get mine. Yeah, you get yours. Yeah, who gon' ride? What you do it for? Look, new design, new accord. Do or die, I'ma win the war, rest assured, I get mine, yeah, you get yours, yeah, who gon' ride, what you do it for, look, new design, new accord, do or die, I'ma win the war, rest assured, I'ma win the war, rest assured, I'ma win the war, rest assured. Everybody got their level, but we are not one and the same. Prezi position my aim, I put that on Barack Hussein. Happy to show you for those who don't know, he out of his brain. I hop in your city and shut it down like you gotta be playing. I'm out here, yeah, already. I've been here, I was born ready. It's been clear, I perform better when I'm in the lead and the horns let me. You was good, but the boy better. More clever, plus more effort, make more cheddar. Don't let up, I'm dumb heavy, drop confetti. I'm up with the giants, I don't see no one above me. I brought the beast out the belly just to show shit could get ugly. Understand, I'm about my business, penmanship up at 100 and me dropping fives. The only way that you could be bubbling from the home of gorillas. Yeah, we realer than most. Quick to jump at your jugular if you getting too close. My whole team on the come up, I finna be in the pros. Been on my grind to the sun up, so I'm gon' leave with the goals. You know that Yeah, you get yours. Yeah, who gon' ride? What you do it for? Look, new design, new accord. Do or die. I'ma win the war. Rest assured, I get mine. Yeah, you get yours. Yeah, who gon' ride? What you do it for? Look, new design, new accord. Do or die. I'ma win the war. Rest assured. I'ma win the war. Rest assured. I'ma win the war. Rest assured. I'ma win the war. I'ma win the war. Rest assured. I'ma win the war. Rest assured. I get mine. You get yours. Who gon' ride? What you do it for? New design, new accord. Do or die. I'm gonna win the war. Rest assured.
Yeah, how do I sound with it when I hit the ground? 100-mile finish. My moment now ain't no mouse in this. I'm on the prowl and my style fitted. My time, give me high fives. Get a picture of the wise guy. What's a wave to a high tide? Never stop when you my size. Man, it's my, I said it's my moment. I said it's my moment. I came here to own it. Man, it's my moment. Man, it's my, I said it's my moment.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Challenger Series. I am Formal. Joining me all the way from Ireland, it is Noah. I thought it was Jake. I was told it was going to be Jake, but no, apparently it's going to be Noah Leok here to join us. Welcome back to OCE. I don't even want to know what time it is for you, but I'm happy you somehow found a way to stay awake.
Beth, listen, I'm running on 1 hour of sleep. I've arrived and I'm already being told you wish I was someone else. Formal, I'm going to have a great time.
Yeah, I mean, look, we were watching that last game alongside everyone else. We saw, what things we're looking at so far here in the Challenger Series. A lot of own goals, a lot of sloppy play, but we're at the stage of the event now where I do expect things to settle. So we have what could be actually the two best team in this Challenger Series about to go at it. Gaming Gamers versus Serrani. That's going to be our next match, but uncheerful ends. They're making a bit of a run on that lower half of the bracket.
They definitely are. It's going to be tough for them now that they're in the semi-finals, as you say. This is very much the business end. Good teams are arriving, and Tiki Taka, I think, should be favourites in that match, but Uncheerful Ends definitely have momentum on their side coming in, and it's been a surprisingly close bracket, I think, so far, considering some of the teams, considering some of the names on those teams, and what the results have been so far. Definitely still feels up for grabs.
You're looking at that Reborn Titans Serrani matchup, aren't you? I feel like that's where your eyes are going when you say something like that. I mean, yeah, that game was, I really wish we had seen that to really have seen what happened there.
Yeah, and I mean, even beyond that, the follow-up match that Serrani had, because again, Serrani just looking kind of purely at names, purely on achievements for players in this competition, probably our favourites, or at least close to it, on the day. But even against Curios Curists, they had some really close matches. They won 3-1, sure, but game 1 and 2, they won by a single goal. They got kind of swept out of it in game 3, and then sure came back strong to win in game 4. But I think all of that just goes to say that this upper half of the bracket is still also wide open.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun one, and I think Serrani versus Gaming Gamers is going to be a good sort of litmus test for realistically where both the teams are at. I mean, Gaming Gamers, they were the team that did kind of get through that Challenger Series last time. This squad, Sprat, Hawk, Zen, I mean, all super familiar names. We know they can bring it when they do start to gel together. It was a little bit surprising. I think last week, this week, we can't really be surprised. We know they're maybe playing a bit more for fun. We know they might not be the most serious team, but the talent is still there in spades.
Absolutely. And I think you're also looking to see which of these teams can actually compete. Obviously, only one team going through to the Gauntlet tomorrow. And there's some very, very good teams who absolutely have that talent waiting for them there. So now's the time to kind of, prove that you have maybe the synergy, that you have the play, that you're going to be able to compete at the level that's going to be required by the time you get there.
Well, I mean, for players like, I guess in this stage, Kaka, because Fades is in, not Finn. So that actually explains maybe a little bit of what's happening with Serrani. Not that Fades is a bad player. But for Kaka in particular, and even for Pagsy, who's gotten their fair share of top fours now, like their expectation would be to go that far. That said, people in the chat right now leaning towards that Gaming Gamer side. I don't know if that's just because of the name value or just because Serrani going 5 against the Reborn Titans has people nervous, but I'd be a part of that 37% personally.
It's hard to say. I think a lot of people also possibly looking at how previous matches have gone so far today for Serrani and saying, yeah, they've managed to scrape through the challenges, but it has kind of been an element of, they've scraped past their 2 previous opponents, and Gaming Gamers do look a cut above the competition that they've faced so far. It's going to be an interesting match either way. I think game 1 and how fast both of these teams kind of come out swinging, if either of these teams does look very aggressive early on, is definitely going to set the tone. If Gaming Gamers come in looking like a team that believes they are the favorites to win this one.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see as well, because if we're going to talk about someone who I want to see coming out swinging, my eyes actually go to the Serrani side and onto Kaka as well, because the games where Kaka is confident, where they are that forward-playing midfielder more so than not, things look really, really good for them historically. We'll see how they gel together. Pagsy as well is another player who, if they're like cheating forward on pretty much any opportunity, just creating chaos on the opposite end, it can be a good day for them as well. That said, we'll be kicking this one off quite shortly, it looks like. I don't know, Fades is an interesting one, because I wasn't expecting to see Fades here today. I thought it was going to be Finn. Fades is, again, another one of those bubble players that had a fair bit of hype around them. Didn't really get many opportunities to show that off in RLCS just yet, but I'm excited to see what they can do in this sort of lineup.
And as you say, it's going to be interesting to see how Fade stacks up against the rest of the competition. If they are looking like they belong early on, I mean, as you say, an excellent player could still show very good things, but Finn is the player that we were expecting to see here. Fades in instead. Little bit of a shake-up to the roster. Maybe that does explain some of the problems they have been having earlier in the bracket, or maybe Fades just pops off early in this match and proves the doubters wrong. The doubters being, well, maybe me in this case.
I mean, yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Also, I believe JDW is Kaka. We'll get some confirmation on that as soon as possible. But for now, it's going to be Hawk straight down the middle, and the first goal goes to the Gaming Gamers.
Look, I wanted to see which team came out aggressively, and I don't think we really have an answer yet, because that is as close to a kickoff goal as you're going to get. It's 19 seconds of play, and it is just the defense not getting set in time. No one at home for Serrani. That's a soft goal to give away early in game 1.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was getting a little sick of the kickoff goals in those first 2 games on stream. That one, I'm lumping it in that same category as well. Just Serrani looking unsettled. Hawk going to take advantage of that, but that's the kind of player Hawk is. I mean, some players can say he's a little ball chasey, maybe a little greedy on the boost. I believe last time in RLCS he was like gapping his team in the boost 2-1, but Hawk is the type of player to make that work, so you've always got to be kind of cautious when they're on the pitch. Zen now going to try a little tap down, going to be saved by Kaka on the line.
Zen now kind of stuck a little bit in no man's land, will rotate back, is just living on pads at the moment in the middle of the pitch, but has managed to get a touch on that ball and maybe slow down any potential for the orange team to move aggressively up. Serrani not getting a breakaway there, and there's Fades looking for Kaka on the side wall. Kaka with a chance to move it in the middle, but that touch kind of went into no man's land, and it's back instead with Gaming Gamers on the charge.
And this was the exact opposite, Serrani, that I wanted to see. 3 players playing off their backboard, no one really cheating forward. Poxley kind of was there by default just because they were collecting boost on this occasion. This is a Serrani team that could struggle as we kind of move it forward, but now on the attack, maybe Kaka can make something happen. Zen not able to make the save. Instead, it's going to be Hawk off the backboard finding the touch.
Yeah, good save coming off the back wall. There's still an attack going. Fates takes it low instead, but can't get past Zen on the goal line. This is now a little bit more confident and a little bit more aggressive. One more touch lands on Pagsy. Is going to, again, slow play it, looking to just open up a little bit of space. And they are playing with that little bit of extra confidence in the opposition half now. They are willing to slow it down and try and force the space open if it's not there to begin with.
Sprat, good beat on Pagsy. That's going to set up Zen. Shot saved by Kaka on the goal line. Hawk already opposite end over the top of one. Didn't really have the avenue, though, to jump it off the backboard. And again, we got to see a little bit of space created for Serrani, but Pagsy was sitting back, so couldn't get underneath Fade. Still a shot for Kaka down the middle, easily collected by Zen.
Could have been a better shot there. Could have been an equalizing goal, but there's another chance on a Kaka in, and it was a little bit behind Pagsy, who couldn't find the shot off the back of that pass then. But good idea. And the execution just needs to clean up a little bit, and we could be looking at a tied game, because it really has been all Serrani creating the chances in the last couple of minutes, but they've given away another soft one, and that's the problem. If maybe you're getting a little bit confident but don't have anything to show for it yet.
Hawkeyes this time finds a gap down the middle, gonna take that shot twice now. Hawk has found the exact same goal. This one maybe a little bit longer into the duration of play, but overall, yeah, Serrani just looking a little bit sloppy on some of their back-end rotations, been punished twice.
They are the team looking to create most of the time at the moment, but it's just a couple of degrees of execution that they're lacking, right? They haven't managed to find that killer shot. They haven't broken open the defense, whether it's a shot or a pass, to finally break things open. They just need someone to get across the line and maybe open things up, but they just keep leaving Hawk in space with a route straight to the net.
Yeah, and third goal, I think all 3 of these shots have been from behind the midfield line. Like, Hawk's out there shooting 3s right now. Only get 1.4, but I guess 3 overall. It is the hat trick. That time, even with Kaka on defense as well, just couldn't make the save. The positioning so perfect.
It was pretty clean. Honestly, the best finish we've seen from Hawk so far, but whether, you know, some of them have been soft or not, it is still a hat trick for Hawk and doing what needs to be done. And when the opposition gives you chances like that, you do still have to take them. So it is comfortable in game 1 for Gaming Gamers, but I still think that Serrani are the team that is looking to create a little bit more, which means that this series, even if it is 3-0 in game 1, definitely not over yet. If they can clean that defense up a little bit for game 2, if they can start to close those gaps and finally start to open up the scoring. No, it's fine, Formal. It's fine. It's not fine.
Well, I mean, it's more fine than if Sprat had missed it. I will say that.
Yeah.
I got a little bit nervous there because it wasn't the easiest launch angle, and Hawk was kind of zooming right for it, but nah, Sprat will put it in. Going to be a 4-0 lead for the Gaming Gamers at the end of that one.
I think the worry for Serrani here is that that's Gaming Gamers actually kind of forcing a goal of their own rather than just taking advantage of a little bit of space that was left open for them by Serrani. And if Gaming Gamers then, with this lead, start to find the confidence, there's another shot on target, good pinch from Pagsy, then all of a sudden you've kind of allowed Gaming Gamers to seize control of this, and they're using that to build momentum of their own, and that's exactly what Serrani can't afford right now.
I just like, look, I'm going to be that guy. I want to see. This sounds weird, and purely for selfish reasons, as Pagsy is going to get one through up in nice little doink shot. Actually, it was Kaka on the reset, setting that one up. I feel like should get the MVP. But going back to Hawk, just real quick, I'm only disappointed for selfish reasons because I always taught Hawk up as this big mechanical player, and all 3 of those first goals were just lob shots from the middle of the field. Like,
it's fair. Yeah. And there was a little bit of pace on the third one. You know, there was some execution. Okay, that was fine. That didn't go in. I did have to pause for a second. It's Pagsy in a 1-on-1 and we'll run straight into Zen, who's a brick wall on defense that time around. 30 seconds left. Game 1's over. It has been for a little while. Yeah. But I think positive signs, right? In terms of plays created from kind of open play and actually created rather than just taken, it's kind of 1-to-1, you know? Now that's still clear signs, Formal, that the defense needs to clean up from Serrani. Those defensive rotations need to get better, but they can compete in this series, right?
People make fun of American math. I'm so sorry to question Irish math at the end of that one. That might
Equally
take up
bad.
that.
But I just want a close series.
Okay, well, maybe it will come together. You're right. Just got to clean up the closings on some of those attacks for Serrani. Don't allow the middle of the pitch open, and don't give Hawk any open touches. There we go. 3 keys to success right there. Game 1, though, in the books. Yeah, it was a hat trick for Hawk. Gaming Gamers looked way too comfortable for the first 3.5 minutes of that series. Like, I think that's the be-all, end-all of it as well, even on defense. You have to kind of expect that from the Gaming Gamers too, though, because Zen is always kind of that player who is a little bit more comfortable on the back half. I've found Sprat, I have no idea. It always depends on the day with Sprat and Hawk. You know, you give Hawk space, Hawk's probably going to score a goal. So they're okay to play further back. They want their opponents to maybe overextend and get out of position. And Serrani did that 1 too many times, or 3 too many.
I mean, for as much as I've been talking it up and saying, like, well, Gaming Gamers just took the chances when they were presented, you're right. They were weathering the storm really well. Serrani were the team that were aggressing for a lot of that game. They were up trying to force an opening. Gaming Gamers weathered the pressure, ultimately drew players up and created that space for themselves a little bit with that playstyle. So if the defense continues to hold for Gaming Gamers and they can kind of show what they did with that 4th goal and maybe get something going on the counter-attack that doesn't fully rely on the defense just vanishing in front of them, then yeah, they have options in terms of scoring goals. And if you have lots of options and you're a good team in scoring goals, then they're going to go in eventually.
Yeah, and I do think we will be seeing higher quality goals. I'm hoping we see higher quality goals, or at least higher quality own goals, one way or the other. Because I'm still jealous of the 2 that Yummy and Jake got, all right? Like, if you didn't see those before, they were
wild.
They were some top-tier own goaling right now. We have a little bit of a break, it looks like, before we kind of kick on to this next game, so do bear with us before we get into game number 2. I'm also curious to see, again, like, Fades was kind of a player who we're looking out for to see how they can get involved. Didn't have too much of an impact on that first game, Noah. I'm hoping that turns around in the second game, and then we get to see more Fades moving forwards.
Fades was getting a lot of the offensive ball possession, though, for Serrani. So may not have had the most impact, but definitely is the player that they are looking to maybe rally behind when they're making those pushes into opposition half, because moving forward from the halfway line, it felt like it was Fades who was moving that ball forward more often than not. So yeah, if Fades can start to find that shooting form or just become a more efficient distributor of the ball in this second half and find one of his 2 teammates who we know are both excellent scorers in their own right as well, are definitely capable of putting the ball in the back of the net. And again, I don't want to oversay it, but there is room for Serrani to come into the series. I think the 4-1 scoreline is a little bit deceptive, and looking at the rest of the bracket from earlier in the night as well, Serrani lost a few blowouts and then went on to win in blowouts of their own in some other games, and seeing how that game 1 went, I can absolutely see how that's the case.
Very, very likely. That could be a direction we go. Look, while we're waiting for the 6th game, I want to play a game with the Twitch chat right now. Just real quick. Because Kaka, they changed their name to JDW. I want to know what people think that JDW stands for in Twitch chat. It's a fun little game. What is the acronym that JDW stands for? Why they changed their name? Because I'm curious on that and see what people can kind of come up with right now. What do you think? I'm trying to think as well, because those are J and W are hard for the acronym game.
Yeah, it's a game that does also seem to be being played in the lobby chat.
Yeah, now you gave away where my source is from. Thanks.
No, listen, we're not clever. Everything we do is just stolen from the lobby chat, right? This is this dirty little casting secret. I'm gonna go with just doing winning. Unfortunately, not the case in game 1. You know?
Yeah, well, they didn't. Yeah, just don't win was game number 1, but you can change it to doing, I think, as we go. Or just didn't win.
Oh. That is absolutely some like League of Legends level changing of nicknames to fit the player. I don't know. Look, obviously not to talk about other games too much, but there was famous player God V who, whenever he started losing, chat would just start to spam Gold 5 instead. Yep. Yeah. So I think JDW has the potential there. Just do winning or just don't win, depending on whether or not the match is won or lost.
Yeah, it is pretty wild right there. Pretty crazy as hopefully we should be getting into this one shortly right now. I mean, look. Unfortunately, I'm gonna break the fourth wall right now. We can't start this game until we figure out what JDW stands for. Like that.
Yeah.
That's what's holding us up. Right, we got to figure it out. That is on the line. All right, like that's so. And Twitch chat has given me no suggestions. So Twitch chat, if you want the game to start, we need your suggestions. That is what is holding us up. I hate to say it.
Yeah, we are desperate for it at this point. It does look like there is potentially movement as well, and we may unfortunately also be losing the JDW initials going into Game 2. But we are getting into Game 2. We have, in fact, lost the JDW initials, and Kaka has rejoined the match. Will the name change bring
Just
any
don't
luck with
whiff
it?
from Dury. I like that.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good
Yeah.
one. I wasn't even thinking whiff. That's clever. I like that. I like that, Dury.
Yeah.
You earned it. All right, here we go. 5 minutes on the clock. Game number 2 now underway. Kaka has returned. Just don't whiff is gone. And now maybe the whiffs will stop as well. Kaka, first touch, takes it to the corner, but can't get it back to Pagsy. Nope, Hawk plays keep away.
Bit of space at the back again there, but Fades does cover it off better this time. I think in Game 1, that's a go. Yeah, I'm going to say it. I think that Serrani probably don't have someone back in time, but it is saved away, and maybe that's a positive sign moving forward for the rest of Game 2 here. But it is going to be Gaming Gamers charging forward. That looked like a good pass, but you got to remember, JDW just don't whiff.
Yeah, unfortunately, Zen didn't remember at that time as that one went to side fade. Missed it as well, but going to be another tap for Zen. Open backward double touch. It's going to be down and in. Too clean for Zenulus.
0 boost left in the tank. That final touch was difficult, but gets the soft touch off the roof of the car and drops it perfectly into that top left corner. That is a very, very pretty goal and a great way to start the scoring off in Game 2 for Gaming Gamers.
Yeah, Zen might be like a ripe old age of, I don't know, 20 or something, but you still can't deny this kid's mechanics when a backboard is left open. And that can be said for pretty much 2 of the 3 members. I feel like maybe even Sprat as well. On a good day, there's Fades' shot, but it's going to be saved by Zen on the line.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple of times from Serrani. Shots that have kind of opened up space available and then shot kind of just rolls into a keeper. But at least they're creating the shots. And here's Kaka going for one over the top, and that is lovely off the ceiling. And Kaka, the name change is working.
Yeah, just didn't whiff that time off the roof. That late touch, Zen was expecting something a little bit tighter. Didn't quite have the angle to find that save. Not many players would, so finally Serrani gets themselves a nice looking goal. Game number 2 looking a little bit more contested than game number 1 right now as Hawk is going to take it to the skies, gets it underneath Kaka, but Pagsy will get there first. Sprat hanging back.
Likely looking again on 0 boost, using a lot to just catch up with that ball. Couldn't get a shot on target, but here's the attack again. Shot on Sprat on the goal line, gets it clear for now. Fades trying to just control it, keep it safe on the way back, and it has allowed the team to reset in time. Watches Fades is still sitting up there a little bit late on the bump for Sprat, unable to clear the way for another goal.
Zen looking for another double, not going to find it. Pagsy's touchdown the middle, caught by Sprat. The New Zealander won't get the shot just yet. Now it's going to be Hawk down to Zen again. Another nice pass, but nowhere safe for Zen to put it. Had to go corner. Many defenders in the goal. Counterattack back up. Sprat's going to slow it down in front of their own net and then drive it right into Fades and Pagsy, but gets it past them both. Everything a little set up right now. Kaka's been having to do a lot of the work right now for Serrani, though. Like not to change tempo too much, but it has been the Kaka show on Serrani thus far. I want to see some of the other players step up.
Yeah, and I think what we've been seeing from both Fades and Pagsy is whenever they manage to get the ball a little bit into the opposition half, they've had to use their entire boost tank just to get it across the halfway line. And by the time they get up there, then there's very little left to try and mend the attack. Maybe something different here. Fades bump. Pagsy, you gotta go again.
What?
Moment of miscommunication.
Oh, and all 3 players cheated forward. We almost got another Hawk long ball right there to take the lead. Now it's going to be Sprat down to Zen. Pagsy, nice interception, but Hawk's already there. If that's in, nope, a little bit too high.
Game 1 Hawk would have scored that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, wait, bring back Game 1 Hawk. Oh, it's what it is. The name change was all to cool them off. That's got to be it, right?
Oh, genius. That cap just roll in. Oh, it was close, though. It was close. Kaka won't get there in time for a follow-up shot. Does get a boost steal, and so this is better boost control. It's opened up a lot of space. Pagsy hits it into the keeper, but Fades with the follow-up.
Yeah, Fades just stayed tight, stayed close, and was eventually able to find that shot right there. I mean, Sprat just didn't trust the jump, I suppose. Let's not would sail overhead, a bit unfortunate, but Good little goal from Fades, and now all of a sudden, for the first time in this series, it's Serrani in the lead.
Ronnie will have to see what they can do with the lead. Can they hold it? What does the playstyle look like? I'm going to guess they continue to go for it aggressively, as they have been in both games, even when they were behind by a lot. And even with the win now, I'd expect them to still look pretty aggressive with it.
I love that fake going for the bump, but it was like the lightest touch on the Kaka right there from Sprat. It was
just a love tap.
Yeah, it was like a haha, fooled you. But not really. Either way, Fades looking for Pagsy. Zen will come across with the save a little bit too slow from the Serrani side. Still, they're the team with the lead. Kaka, just a bit of an awkward touch. Hawk, though, isn't able to punish yet. Now Sprat looking for Hawk again. Pagsy has been doing a much better job this second game on defense, actually, kind of disrupting a lot of the Gaming Gamers setups, which has been a big difference for the attack, although now Sprat doesn't get the dunk.
Yeah, that's long. It'll head to the back wall. Zen gets another touch off it, though, on his own back wall and beats out the oncoming player. Kaka beaten, but Kaka still here with boost down in front of Fades. Good passing places. Pagsy on the back post. No. Unable to get the follow-up there, and I think it looked a little bit like Fades split between actually just taking the shot and trying to find Pagsy on that back post and really splitting the difference.
Yeah, this game is very similar to game number 1 for Serrani, it feels like, where they have been the more proactive team. They have been setting up a lot more of the shots, but they just haven't been able to finish the goals off. Granted, the big difference for them has been they've stopped Hawk from just getting 3 touches across the middle of the field into the net, so that's a positive step forward. This is so open.
Yeah. Not much more to say on that. It was indeed so open. Hawk just kind of passed it infield to Kaka, and it's hard to say who he was looking for. It wasn't really like there was a teammate in a great position to receive that pass, so it's going to be a 3-1 lead. I mean, at some point, yeah, there needed to be something from Gaming Gamers. They needed to try and get a little bit wild with it to try and find something, but it won't happen. It looks like we're heading towards a tied series. We're running out of time. Fades will take one more shot, and I think that'll wrap up game 2. Series tied at 1-1, and it is kind of a blowout in both directions, although much less of one this time around. I think this much more felt like the game game 1 could have been formal, right? Yeah. I know we were laughing about my Irish maths at the end of that game and saying, yeah, it was 1-1 from open play, right? But this was kind of 2-1 from open play and then a soft goal at the end when Gaming Gamers needed to try and find something. And it came off the back of Serrani managing to do that, clean up their defense a little bit, and then be the more proactive team on the field.
All I'm saying is JDW just didn't win, but Kaka certainly did. So, I don't know, name change probably for the better right now. That's definitely a good little turnaround for Serrani. And again, I liked how FaZe got more involved, particularly on the attacking side. I think Pagsy was a lot more consistent on defense, shutting down a lot of sort of those passes as they were getting set up as well. And Kaka, still that driving force overall. It still has been like the key player, I feel like, for the Serrani side. But for Gaming Gamers, they need to mix up their own approach a little bit, because it looks like they tried to do the exact same thing as game 1, look for some of those lob shots, maybe follow up with an infield pass. Neither of those were working in game 2, so game 3, I want to see a more aggressive Gaming Gamer side. I want to see Hawk kind of get unleashed a little bit more, be that greedy, boost chasing ball hog, and really force Serrani to get into positions where their rotations start to look a little bit sloppy because of how much attacking pressure Hawk can bring.
Absolutely. And to the other point you mentioned there, not really kind of absorbing the pressure as well, not creating the space at the back. If you're going to go for that kind of playstyle, if you want to try and draw 3 players up, then you need to really consider what your clears look like on defense. Never mind. Hawk will just score 3 seconds in. 9 seconds in.
You know what? But this was better than your average kickoff goal, because both teams touched the ball. Serrani, you could argue, actually got themselves set up defensively, but Hawk just crossed up both defenders. Both defenders were facing that right side. Shot goes left. It's going to go in. 1-0 for the Gaming Gamers.
Yeah, and maybe another chance here. Zen, though, the first touch running away from them a little bit, will not be able to follow up. Kaka has literally no boost in the tank, so Hawk will take that ball because it belongs to them.
This is the Hawk I want to see. The aggressive ball chasing. Zen, though, down, toe, top bar, and in. Zen helping get an early lead.
Uh-oh. This is kind of already getting a little bit out of hand for Serrani. They've dropped 2 in 26 seconds, and they both come off just good play in front of the net, honestly, as well. Those were not free goals. That was not the defense disappearing. That was running the defense out of boost in the first kind of 15-20 seconds off the back of the kickoff. and then taking full advantage of the fact that cars couldn't get into the air to contest them.
I mean, the pace difference from the gaming gamers between games 2 and 3 is like immediately visible off of these kickoffs right now, and has been kind of keeping Serrani on that back foot, where this team admittedly should look less comfortable considering the caliber of these players and how they like to approach this game. We will see, though, Serrani are going to be able to wrestle some momentum back. That tunk from Pagsy will get the ball to the blue side of the field. Weak challenge from Fades, though, brings it back. The net is open, by the way, and Sprat was too slow on the shot.
Yeah, Sprat demoed in the backfield to open up that space, but in doing so meant that the shot was always going to be a little bit slow. Now Kaka has a full tank boost, is going over the top, flip reset, but can't get the bump onto Sprat, who will send it long. Pagsy under a lot of pressure, demoed as well, and all of a sudden, gaming gamers have, I think, pulled off about 5 demos in the last 30 seconds, and it will open up Hawk to drop one from the heavens.
Oh, out of the corner as well, back into that shot. So well plays Hawk. Again, Ball Hawk, Hawkeyes, Kobe, whatever you want to call them, with shots like that, absolutely downing them. I will say this, though. I'm loving the demo game as well, and I have to throw that shout back to the AEL Uni League just because it's one of my favorite stats I've ever seen. In the AEL Elite Series, Zen, in a best of 5, 42 solo demos in a winning effort one time as Sprat makes it 4-0.
That is a truly absurd amount of demos, and they didn't even need them for this one. This feels kind of like a concession goal, like, yeah, no, game 3 feels a little bit done for Serrani, right? There's not really the urgency in getting players back on that one. Surely they don't concede another kickoff goal here. Kaka gets the touch. It's okay. We don't go to 5-0 just yet.
In fact, we're going to go the other way. Kaka wanted to fake out Hawk, but Hawk saw it coming. Good patient play from the defense right there. That was tricky. Pagsy still has that pressure, but Fades just was a little bit too far forward. Sprat got them beat. Now up the back. Okay, Sprat will just miss. Had Hawk underneath, too. That could have been a good pass. Either way, Fades will find Kaka. Zen misses as well. This is good for Serrani. Kaka doesn't get the beat.
Sprat gets back with the full tank boost that was stolen away at the other end, and Sprat and Hawk go shoulder to shoulder to bring that ball forward. It'll land on Hawk, and it'll be Hawk to put it past 2 defenders. And we do, in fact, move to 5-0.
Hawk just doesn't miss right now. Like they are. It was surprising to see how strong they looked last week. But this week, they're looking even better, at least so far in this series right now. Hawk has just been absolutely on point. And if this is the beginning of the return of Hawk, who, again, was always kind of touted as like they're going to be the next big OCE player. Their time is coming. They had, like a season and a half of ROCS and they kind of disappeared for a year and a half. Well, if they're back and shooting like this, it could definitely mix things up going into 2024.
Hawk is looking like that scariest type of player, which is you cannot at any point allow him a free touch on the ball, right? Like, you need to be contesting Hawk on everything, and that puts so much strain on a defense in terms of using boost to just keep near Hawk at all times. And it's going to open up cracks elsewhere, and here's what happens when you don't have someone on Hawk for every touch is anywhere that he is on the pitch just seems to be a goal-scoring opportunity right now.
Yeah, and that was the Hawk of old. Like, that was the Hawk that players used to be kind of afraid for, that was touted as being so strong. Granted, in the past, too, we also saw a lot of Hawk, slowing it down, a lot of the mechanics coming into play. Right now, you were right, though. It's a collapse from Serrani.
Yeah.
We are getting close to the double-digit club, and that is not a place I thought we were going to be visiting tonight.
Serrani, man. They, when they start the game off right, they manage to hold it together. As soon as it starts to go wrong, this is pretty... Collapse is really the only word, you're right. It's been rough. I think, as I said, that 4th goal definitely just felt like the moment, the turning point, when they were kind of signaling that they'd given up on the game a little bit, and they're just looking to game 4 already. But this is getting ugly.
Oh, we still have 100 seconds left. I mean, I was hoping that pinch would go in. Like, that's what I was banking on. Instead, it's just Hawk again from behind. Cheeky little redirect touch. 8-0. 100 seconds to go. I want to see the 10. I want to see the double digits.
I think it's happening for them. Oh, boy. It's so much time to score 2 goals. Look, pace of play probably going to slow down a little bit, as signaled here. Neither team is going to feel any level of urgency, and if the entire game is just slower, then there's less chances to score often.
Well, I think what's happened is, unfortunately, for the gaming gamers, they realize they can't get the funny scoreline anymore. So they just like, oh no, we overdid it. Zen was just driving in reserve, like in reverse, trying to get that goal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're at that stage of the game. It's the Game 4 waiting room for this final minute.
It kind of is, yeah. And double digits starting to feel left. Oh, looked for a pass, but unfortunately had a teammate getting a little bit too aggressive with it. Unable to get the pass. So, you know, clear lack of... Ooh!
How does Hawk read that? Like, because it looks like Pagsy's just going to go for the straight shot, instead fakes it into the double. Kaka will get the goal. But, yeah, I don't know, Hawk just... He never trusts the first offensive touch. He's always going, like, to defend the second one. Either way, good goal from Kaka right there.
Yeah. Comeback? Formal comeback?
Yeah. Game 4.
Yeah.
Game 4 comeback.
Okay.
Not this one.
Oh, okay. Series comeback. I see. Yeah, that seems fair. It is still 8-1. There's 30 seconds on the clock. And Gaming Gamers, they kind of put the bow on this one a while ago. This has not been a particularly close game. And Serrani continued the very odd series scorelines and match scorelines they've had all night long so far, where games just do seem to swing on a dime. One game they're up by 3, the next game they're down by 7.
Yeah, which means that we're going to get a Game 5. Like, it's only natural after losing 8-1 you take things to a Game 7, or Game 5. You know, let's go all the way to Game 7. Why not?
Let's go to Game 7, sure.
Let's just skip a couple steps. But no, Gaming Gamers, yeah, they're going to walk away with the win at the end of that 8-1 victory. Very convincing 8-1 victory as well. But it's always easier to bounce back from a game like this than it is from, you know, a tense overtime or a close one-goal game. So I'm not counting out Serrani unless they look as flat as they did at the start of like this game as they did at the end of the last one, in which case I don't know what to say for the Serrani team. If that is
that is kind of the downside of, you know, there was that minute-long waiting room, as you said, towards the end there. They need to inject some urgency straight back into their play. Hopefully it was a mental reset and they can come back swinging here in Game 4. But there is always the risk that Serrani start this game off in that same lull that they ended Game 3 with. And if that happens, I don't think we're getting to see a Game 5. These first passages of play, this first few seconds, going to be pretty important. And Kaka has had a good flick to get that ball forward. But it's Hawk in possession. It's Hawk moving forward with a lot of boost, with possession over the top. Hawk goes coast to coast, and it is 1-0 already.
And that is the Hawk, you know, a lot of people remember seeing. Just a scoop off the top, going the distance, has the pace that no one can realistically challenge, because when Hawk committed for that play, Serrani was playing middle of the field. They were expecting, you know, a lot weaker of a touch. They were expecting it to kind of drop into their lap and they can continue to sustain their attack. That wasn't going to be the case. Now Demo's across the middle of the field. No Zen for this play. Might not matter. Hawk looking. Will go corner instead. Pass back towards the center. And now the Demo comes into play because Zen not in the middle to continue the attack.
Yeah, 1v1. Fades looking for the bump, but getting bumped himself will push that ball back the other way. Sprat now looking to go down the other end of the pitch. And look, we haven't really actually talked all that much about Sprat and Zen because they're kind of coasting at the moment. Hawk is doing, you know, all of the work in front of net for this team. But what's kind of scariest, I think, for whoever ends up probably facing this Gaming Gamers team in the final, never mind. Fades knocks one in, and we're a little bit closer. I was going to say I don't think we've seen Zen or Sprat make big mistakes. They're having a very solid series each. Fades just pulls that out then, though.
Yeah, that was just a slick goal right there from the Serrani side. They're right back in this. But to go back to your point on Sprat and Zen, I mean, Zen, again, is someone who I really likes playing with space, really likes playing a little bit further back. So as long as the aggression is there from players like Hawk, they're going to be fine. Oh, that was ugly from Zen. That was really ugly from Zen. That's going to be a goal. No!
Oh,
okay.
no.
Okay. Bates got it through. That. It's all good. It was a goal. But it was a goal because of the whip from Zen.
Yeah, okay. And Hawk did nearly make it back in time to cover that one off. But for all the praise that you gave Hawk, you know, attacking the ball and managing to cover off shots by reading where it was going, just a little bit low on the jump that time, and would have been difficult anyway.
I'm breaking a rule. I want to shout out Hercules in Twitch chat, who joined in, says, "Hi, go Zen!" And then immediately Zen made that whip on defense. First time chatters. That is as great a casting. You get into casting, you've already got the curse element down, buddy. You're made for this.
Yeah, listen, we all know the pain. It happens. I think we've all played a part in it.
Well, I
We'll
did
see.
literally say Zen's good at defense, and then that was the next play. Fades, by the way, has a hat trick, 3-0.
Formal, can I refuse to cast the rest of this series? This is just ridiculous. How did they lose 8-1 and now they're up by 2 and mind controlling their opponents into whipping every ball on defense?
All right, this is going to be a reference only you're going to get, but every team is UEA.
Yeah, okay. Listen, I appreciate that you made that reference for me. That's another goal. Kaka's put in a double touch. Truly absurd.
Everyone has a goal economy, and all I'm saying is gaming gamers, they cashed in game 3. Serrani, they held back, and now they're cashing in game 4. Fades has the hat trick. Now it's going to be, it's going to be Kaka's turn.
So what you're saying is that last round was an economy match for Tsurami, and now they've bought, and they're just they're smashing. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, great. Hercules is already kept. I just outed myself. Oof.
Yeah,
Oof.
I knew that. I was just,
Oh yeah, I'm sure you did. But that's how the caster curse is so strong. We already knew she was already on
tournaments
it.
And casts them.
She was already on it. There we go.
She knew.
She knew what she was doing when she came in. It all makes sense.
Yeah,
Zen's gonna get that
hang
goal
on.
2-4.
This is, as long as we don't talk about Zen, they're regaining power. They've managed to level back up.
That was a sick goal. That was good pass down and in. 2-4 on this one.
Fate's first goal in this match was nuts. Like, there's been some very, very nice goals so far here in Game 4. Gaming gamers, can they do what Serrani have been unable to do and pull back a match that started to look like it was falling completely out of control? Each time when Serrani fell down by 3, they kind of just gave up a little bit. Not fully, but, it really, really fell apart from there. It might be falling apart a little. Pagsy arguably should have been able to shoot that one a little bit quicker, and I don't know, gaming gamers, they definitely have a path back into this game.
Pagsy had no boost, though, because of a double commit on defense before, but then it was kind of equalized when the gaming gamers did a double commit on the attack as well. That was a strange 15 seconds of play. Either way, Fades is going to be looking for a backward setup. Has Kaka underneath. Sprat will disrupt it. Hawk wanted to cheat forward, but won that ball to the right, not to the left. Might not matter. Has Zen across the middle. Pagsy tries to intercept it. Zen too far forward. Sprat is not. Fades got the demo, though, and made the shot awkward, and you can see how the gaming gamers are playing a little bit further forward than what they have been for a majority of the series. They're still trying to fight their way back in this one, but I mean, Serrani have finally been able to match the tempo, which has been a big difference maker. I feel like they've been doing a better job managing that boost outside of that one approach by Pagsy, and it's been keeping them a lot more competitive in Game 4.
It really has. Kaka is going to be pushing forward, and it was a boost takeaway by Hawk on his own back boost. And it nearly cost them, but not quite. And here we go. Pagsy, one more chance on net. Sprat sitting there, collects that easily enough. That boost has respawned, so Sprat should have an easy time getting this one forward and past Fades will be the case, but Kaka was waiting, ready for that. Moving on net, is the reset there? Yes, it was, but Hawk is in position to read it. And there's a minute left on the clock. 2 goals is the deficit. Can Zen find Sprat? Can they start to close that deficit here?
That's a good waterfall, but Hawk kind of jumped the gun a little bit. It was a little bit too far in front of it. Zen now is going to set up something through that corner. Shot in!
Oh, no way!
Was that a pre-jump on the defense?
I think so. They thought that there was, like, Zen jumped at that so confidently, right? They were like, oh,
yeah,
gotta cover Zen here. Gotta cover Zen here. Why is Zen not hitting the ball? Oh, God, where did Hawk come from?
Oh, I saw it on the replay. Yeah, Fades just full committing for the Zen touch. But it might not matter if this kickoff was in. Oh,
no.
Oh.
It's fine. It's fine. Hawk knew, okay? Why are we doubting Hawk?
Yeah, true. Oh, it's trust in Hawk. Trust in Hawk. 30 seconds left. Well, I mean, the gaming gamers are going to need that trust in Hawk if they're going to find that equalizing goal right now. It will be Fades through the corner. Has Pagsy behind the midfield. Kaka stays forward. Has a chance. Zen will collect him with 18 seconds to go. Gaming gamers are on the hunt.
Oh, Hawk tried to fake out Pagsy and then get the musty underneath afterwards. Doesn't work. There is 10 seconds remaining. Ball in the wrong half of the pitch for Gaming Gamers. Kaka, you'd imagine, finishes these, and it will be a 2-goal lead. And Formal, I don't know how it's happened. This is a series in which we had an 8-1 win for Gaming Gamers, and we're going to Game 5 anyway.
Yeah, we just keep on back and forthing this one. Look, I would have predicted this series to possibly go the distance, go to that Game 5. I wouldn't expect it in this fashion. Certainly not, but hey, it doesn't matter how you get to Champions Field. The important thing is that, more so for Serrani right now, is that you get there. And I still kind of like whoever wins this one to kind of win out overall in the Challenger Series. Nothing against the other side of the bracket. I just kind of like these two teams a little bit more than Tiki Taco and Uncheerful. By the way, Uncheerful ends.
Uncheerful End wins.
What? Yeah, they beat Tiki Taka. So there you go.
I think if you are on Cheerful Ends right now, you're probably a Serrani fan, because Gaming Gamers, I think, are more consistent across this series in terms of how they're playing. They definitely look to understand what they're trying to do, which is give Hawk space anywhere near the net at any given time. But when Serrani are peaking, they're on, but they're looking very beatable the rest of the time. I think if you are coming from that other side of the bracket, you probably want Serrani to win right now.
Maybe, but Serrani does have that higher ceiling that you're kind of alluding to. It's kind of a tough one for which one you ought to go through. I mean, I'm here for a Morse versus Sprat battle. I think that would be fun. Maybe I am starting to lean more on the Gaming Gamers, but we'll see if they're going to be able to stop what should be a motivated Serrani on Champions Field. I mean, first goal is not there. Hawk wanted the dunk, but doesn't quite find it.
Yeah, won't quite end up in. Zen moving forward, but beaten by Pagsy. Sprat back to collect. Will pick that one up, but should be getting low on boost. Moving this ball forward, still beats out Fades cleanly, and will get past Kaka as well. Can't get into a position to bump Pagsy out of the way, and Hawk will miss the follow-up. I mean, it's up to Zen to set Hawk up, but Hawk, honestly, at this point, I have the faith that you put Hawk in a position like that, somehow the shot is going on target. It's ended up with a lot of players forward, though. That's on. It's saved. Hawk has managed to get back and clear that away.
Yeah, and finds the midfield touch as well. Kaka will go middle with it, but Zen has it red. Just going to try to drive it forward. Ooh. Hawk wanted either the bump or the ball. Wasn't quite fast enough there, and that's going to save that first goal for now. We've gone a minute without a goal. I don't know when was the last time we've done that. Hawk nearly rectifies the situation, but the save is found.
Are both teams just going to peak for Game 5? Is that the Game 5 finale that we're heading for? I'm all for it. There's a demo on Fades in the background, which means
Zen open net? No.
Fades has respawned, but not in time. Nearly in time, but not quite in time to get back across for that.
Yeah, I saw it being set up right there. Zen did not rotate back, which means Sprat had that pass forward, had to drive it in. The pace absolutely perfect from the Gaming Gamers right there. Fantastic goal, and it's a 1-0 lead.
And they manage to build on this. Do they push the lead higher? That's what we've seen from leagues basically across this series from Gaming Gainers. They just kind of blow it out very, very quickly.
Oh my God, I love that name change. There we go. Shot from Kaka, top left and in. Sending the Gaming Gamers back to the gym to get those gains right now. They're going to need them because we're tied once again.
They are looking massive, but maybe not. They're trapped under their own barbells right now and unable to get up in time to save that ball.
I love that name, the Gaming Gainers. I mean, the Gaming Gamers also would work too. Both of those. Yeah. Shout out, by the way, again. I'm feeling nostalgic when the Gaming Gamers played the Great Gaming Gamers in that beautiful matchup. Zen down the middle, shot gonna be saved by Kaka rotating back.
Yeah, a little bit of a double commit there, but Fades was able to cover up the follow-up pass as well. Zen playing from their own back wall, taking it slow, letting Sprat get back. That's a poor touch from Zen off the back wall. Hawk there to cover nonetheless. A pass sideways. Fades for Pagsy. Pagsy will win out on the duel in midfield, but bounces awkward, favouring Gaming Gamers in this one. Kaka collects off the side. They're choosing to go high out of their own defense every time. Goes for the bump. It's on target. Zen gets credit for the save.
Oh, Zen on that back line barely coming through. Let's see what Zen can do now up in that corner. Kaka has control. Fades is underneath, but won't get a chance. Demo from Zen, though, allows Hawk a free touch, and that's just going to go in.
No way. Game 1 flashbacks there as Hawk just gets a touch, and well, that just means the ball goes in somewhere at the other end of the pitch. Sprat escorts it the entire way, and Pagsy not able to get back. Credit does go this time around, yeah. There's a demo in the midfield that clears a little bit of that space, makes it a little bit easier to find that space in the backfield. Whatever the reasoning may be, whether it's Hawk or the demo, it is going to be 2-1. Kaka looking to tie it up, gets bumped away from the double touch.
Pagsy swing and a miss. Now Hawk with Spades. 1v1 against Fades. Wants to go high. Fades does get a touch, but Sprat should be underneath. Goes backboard. The tempo doesn't allow Serrani to reset themselves. Kaka again will take it down that middle. Drops it off to Hawk. Gets past one. Gets bumped off the second. Now Fades. Deep clear. Sprat and Zen. Not too much yet to get involved with the play. They should have some boost. They should have some... No, earnest on that play, but Kaka just able to take it away from them. Tempo slowing down though, and I feel like this is favoring the gaming gamers.
Yeah, they're the team with the lead, and also in slower play they seem to look good. Zen over the top, great control, crossbar and wide though, and then Zen will fall afoul of that ball on the way clear. Kaka beats one, can Kaka beat two? No, Hawk will manage to put that into a space. His team dominates on that side of the pitch. Two players on the line, and Pagsy the player to collect.
JDW, just don't worry right now. If you're Serrani, you can still bring this one back. A minute and a half left. Sprat will play keep away. Let's see what Fades can do with this pop-up to themselves. Hawk already there. Shot save. Pagsy diving back. It's knife's edge defense for Serrani because they're trying to cheat players forward. They want that quick counterattack, and they might get it here. It's going to be Kaka. No, send off the backboard, has to save.
Potentially series defining. There's Pagsy got the save. They could be down by two, but the crossbar has saved that one, and they'll remain down by one. So much space. Can Pagsy find a shot? Kaka takes it instead. Hawk on the goal line manages to get a touch that sends it high, wide, onto the goal line again. Zen there this time around with zero boost. Can't get a great clear. Wins the challenge anyway. Fades just sets up half tank boost. Where can you go? Clicks one. Sprat on the back wall. Gets the Zen. And that should be this attack ended if Pagsy doesn't just take it away. Pagsy again! Off the ceiling and finds an equalizer.
And this might look like Pagsy cutting off the teammate, but I actually feel like Sprat gets there if they rely on Fades underneath. Pagsy had to take that double touch and gets it through. 2-2 game. Good goal from Pagsy.
What a finale to this series. Absolutely wonderful stuff from both teams. Fades beats out one, but Hawk is sitting there now. Hawk, full tank of boost. Where do we go with this one? A lot of control over the top, on target. No. Kaka was sitting there waiting off to the side as that one falls to the near post. Sprat with a chance to just shoot, but Fades is on the line. Hawk is going backwards away from this one. It'll be hard, but that's so clean. The catch, beautiful. The control, amazing. Looking for the dunk, but Kaka is cool under pressure.
Yeah, but still, Zen and Sprat are in position to keep this attack going, and if they can buy time, Hawk might get another chance at it. They went a little too far forward, though. Has to make the play from underneath. It's a delicate touch, 0 seconds. Last attempt's going to come from Serrani. Kaka keeps it up, but there's no one underneath, so we go to overtime.
How is this ended in overtime? None of these games have been particularly close, and yet here we are, game 5 overtime between these two teams. They finally realized that, yeah, maybe we are pretty equally matched. Is there an early winner? Not off Zen.
Oh, not off a double commit like that!
Oh, no way!
What a way to throw this game in the bin for the gaming gamers. Pagsy puts in the most open of goals.
I guess, yeah, it did have to end like this, didn't it? 15 seconds into overtime, and the double commit costs gaming gamers everything. Formal, they won a game 8-1. They won it in 4 minutes. Nothing happened in the final minute of that game. They were scoring 2 goals a minute, and they lose in a game 5 overtime.
Pagsy can't keep getting away with, like, game 5 and game 7 wins like this. My goodness, even going back to RLCS, for some reason, whenever it's in overtime, whenever it's a tense game, Pagsy is just going to find a way to get an open net goal or, like, get the game winner. Like, they are... I don't know if they're clutch. Something about their aura just drives teams to make mistakes, but it feels like it's a regular thing. When you get into the high-pressure games, Pagsy is going to be in the right place at the right time and get that goal. I don't know. I genuinely do not know.
Well, we'll have to see if that menacing aura can carry Serrani through the finals here as well. They move on to face Uncheerful Ends. We're going to a quick break, but we'll be back with all the action shortly.
do I sound with it? When I hit the ground, 100-mile finish. My moment now, ain't no mouse in this. I'm on the prowl and my style fitted. My time, give me high fives. Get a picture of the wise guy. What's a wave to a high tide? Never stop when you my size. Man, this I said it's my moment. I said it's my moment. I came here to own it. Man, it's my moment. Man, it's my. I said it's my moment.
I don't know if I can make it when I walk alone. Can somebody come and save me? I just wanna know. I wanna know.
I could run through the fire, I could conquer the night. If I can make it, if I try to draw the red light. I could run through the fire, I could conquer the night. If I can make it, if I try to draw the red.
I could run through the fire.
Conquer the night. If I can make it, if I try to draw the red light. I could run through the fire, I could conquer the night. If I can make it, if I try to draw the red.
Yeah, no, I'm sturdy like a Millie Rocket. Skin clear, still look young, Andy Miller knockers. Money in my pocket. Don't call me a money pocket. Engine get to rocket. It sound like a thunder rocket. Yeah, I still love my baby even when it's toxic. Crazy like she Britney, but no, she don't shade the noggin. Russell Wilson way I get low and stay in the pocket. I get paid and do my dance like a touchdown. Yeah, I can't do no time to leave that gun around. In my teens, we were acting up and running around. Now we're grown, still get to it if it's necessary. On the ground from January to January. Never met nobody who retired when they were young. So I guess I gotta get it to the cemetery. Getting paid just for rapping is fun. I let up around a month and February. Talking side, no electric. It's getting hectic. 777. 777. Yeah. Told him slide, no electric. Yeah, it's getting hectic. 777. Yeah. 777. Couple of money in my head, just said he did it.
Yeah. How do I sound with it when I hit the ground? 100-mile finish. My moment now ain't no mouse in us. I'm on the prowl and my style fitted. My time, give me high fives. Get a picture of the wise guy. What's a wave to a high tide? Never stop when you my size. Man, this my, I said this my moment. I said this my moment. I came here to own it. Man, this my moment. Man, this my, I said this my moment.
Welcome to what is about to be our final match here for Challengers Week 2, and it's an interesting one, Noah. It's two teams that we weren't possibly expecting to see, definitely not on that lower side. Uncheerful endings on a bit of a run to get to this final matchup. For Serrani, I think when you look at this lineup, it's expected, but how they got here, a bit of a surprise as well.
Yeah, exactly. You're kind of saying, oh, maybe a surprise that these two teams are through the semifinals. At the start of the day, you know, you look at the names on these teams, you look at what's going on. Shouldn't be a surprise that Serrani are here, but I watched that last series formal. They lost 8-1 in one of those games.
You just let your opponents get it out of their system, okay? Let them score all the goals. You'll be fine later on.
Genius.
Exactly.
Make them waste their goal budget on a single game when, you know, because you win by 1 goal or 7, it's still just a win, and then they don't have any more goals left to score later on. It's genius.
Exactly. And then when you get to the Game 5 overtime, you have Pagsy, who I'm more and more convinced is the most clutch overtime Champions Field player in OCE. We'll get those goals. It will happen. So now Serrani, they're in from that upper half. But yeah, uncheerful ends. Like, I'm surprised with this team. That win over Tiki Taka definitely would have been a fun series to watch. They only allowed 4 goals in 5 games, which is impressive in its own right. And for Matthew, Cheery, and Morris, we saw them on stream earlier. They look very consistent against That's Crazy. Morris in particular, I'm surprised to see how strong they're looking. We could have a proper series.
It's going to be, I think, a really, really interesting series. As you say, the other semi-final looked kind of as interesting as the one that we watched. And our semi-final was really interesting. The 2 games that Uncheerful Ends lost in that other semi-final were 1-0 shutouts, right? They just got scraped by. And honestly, that makes me a little bit worried, maybe potentially, for how this matchup for them goes against Serrani. The matches that were won against Serrani in our semi-final were won because, Hawk could just score whenever he wanted, it felt like, right? And if Uncheerful Ends don't have anyone who is kind of putting those scores on, Serrani's attack, and when they felt in control of the game, they started to look very, very comfortable.
We'll see. I mean, when I look at this Uncheerful Ends, like, my eyes are kind of more on Cheery and Matthew to be possible carrying forces for them. It could go either way. Matthew, a young up-and-coming player, has been finding success in the high school scene, actually, so it's cool to see them in an event like this. Cheery has been in the bubble scene for a while, but is always one of the stronger players on that bubble scene. Morse, up-and-down player, has been a part of some great lineups, has been part of some so-so lineups, and probably actually the most experienced player on this team as well. They could do it. Don't let that fool you. I don't like again, when you look at the strengths of the players, that makes sense, but when you look at the quality of the games, I think it gets a little bit more dicey. I don't know. It's going to be a weird one for me. If Uncheerful, I can see Uncheerful Ends doing it. Like, I don't want to discredit them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I said during our other semi-final that if you were Uncheerful Ends, you were maybe hoping that it's Serrani who show up here, because I think Serrani, they definitely had the higher highs, but they had some of the lower lows in that other semi-final. So if you're a gambling man, you know, maybe you just hope that they do show up and have some of those lower lows in this final, that you are able to maybe take a little bit of advantage of that and ultimately qualify for the Gauntlet tomorrow, because Formal, that's what it's all about in this final. Top one goes to the Gauntlet. Second place has to settle some points for the end of season's final.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't get any easier from this point on, because it will be the Gremlins as well in that first round. So you've got Cabo, Laxton, and Caleb up first tomorrow against whoever wins this game. And I mean, that's fitting, right? Because those, again, the Gremlins, they're always that benchmark team. You know, if you want to be a top 4 team in OCE, that's the team you want to beat. So it makes sense in that regards. We'll see how it comes through as we kick this one off. 5 minutes on the clock. Serrani in blue, Uncheerful ends in orange, and off the kickoff, Morse looking for Cheery. That could be a shot on. Instead, it'll be backboard. Matthew, with help from the demo, gets the first goal.
Formal, it's happening again. It's happening. Our last series started with what? Back-to-back kickoff goals. It's happening again, man.
I mean, that was just smart play though. Like I don't hate that kickoff.
It was as a kickoff goal. Yeah, it was actually well worked to get it across the line in the end. Still a kickoff goal, and still very early that we're seeing Serrani drop behind.
I mean, yeah, it still was, but just the double cross-up using the backboard twice, you know, being fast and efficient before your opponents can establish themselves. I mean, the reason why I like kickoff goals like that more than just the, you know, better cheat gets beat or whatever, is because, like, the kickoff is realistically the part of the game that you should be able to practice the most as a team, right? Yeah. That should be where you have your drawn-up plays. That's the most consistent element of a Rocket League game. So when you see smooth kickoff goals like that, yeah, those are fine. It's when you get the, you know, a bad beat because of a stupid cheat. Then it's not.
Yeah, this is some sick coke, I gotta say. Hey, Fades might score. No, it's off the crossbar, and Pagsy not able to get a follow-up as well. It's going to be racing back in defense at the moment. It's Kaka just playing it slow. Over to Fades. Clever pass in defense, giving Fades a lot of space to work with, but Cheery will collect that first touch.
Yeah, now it's going to be Pagsy, just straight shot into Cheery, who will start to bring it back. Has Matthew behind, but Fades will put it over the top as well. Yeah, you didn't score, I did, says Matthew, as they put it in their own net.
God, I do love Fade's banner every time. Nobody on stream can see it, but it is the sunglasses dropping slowly from the sky, and that is a very kind of, that's what that goal deserves, right? Just shades down and fade away into the night.
Yeah, I mean, it was just... it's very similar to some of the goals that were actually scored against Serrani last game, where there's a gap in the middle of the field, just put it straight on, and it's going to find its way in. Well, now Cheery has Morse across the middle, has Matthew behind. It's going to be Matthew who has to challenge against Pagsy. See if they can come together here. Morse hesitates, doesn't want to commit just yet, so Kaka will take it over the top, doesn't get the double.
Aka's been quiet for a little while now, you know, had a period in the middle of that last series where it looked like they were going to start to take over the entire pitch, where they were going to be the driving force behind anything that was going on. But by the end of the series, I think Fades and Pagsy, Fades especially, had stepped up a lot more, and Kaka still just waiting to see if in this finals can start to lock the pitch a little bit more, but there might be a chance to score here. It's dropped again in front of the net. Morse can't find an angle to put that one on. Yeah, it was just well-placed car from Pagsy right there, just disrupting Morse on that shot right now. I mean, the setup angle was right, but it was just a little bit too slow, unfortunately, for the uncheerful ends, and now Kaka will be able to take that one over the top. Matthew plays the middle of the pitch, throws it straight into Pagsy, who will chase this one all the way through, has Kaka underneath, they connect, Morse, nice intercept. That was quick from Morse, saw the danger coming and put the car in a position to prevent anything happening. Kaka is going to try and put it across stage, got a demo on the way out and will launch it forward. Pagsy is never going to be able to reach that ball. Cheery got to it far too quickly. Morse zero boost, trying to drop it maybe onto Matthew, but it's left as a 50. Pagsy who wins out on that one, and now there's space to work with. Pagsy will just put that one in on the tight angle, beating out the entire defense alone. I mean, that touch right there from Pagsy, middle of the field, is what opened everything up. There was, at the moment Pagsy pushed into the corner, all three members of the Uncheerful Ends were in front of the midfield line, driving towards the blue side backboard. So they had all the time in the world to set it up and knock it through, even with the demo working against them. It was always going to be a goal at that point. So really well done from Serrani. They've taken the lead, and now they've nearly added to it. Morse, it's a save on the line. Yeah, that was Kaku though. As I said, had been a little bit quiet for a while there, but that time around beat out a couple of players to get to the line and really made Morse think about where that ball was going to end up in the 1v1 as well. So a bit more from that from Kaka, and this might not be a 2-1 game for much longer. I think we're running out of time for Uncheerful Ends to find their equalizer. Obviously there's only 90 seconds left, but it looks to be a growing confidence as well for Serrani here in game 1.
Matthew's touch. Switch to the backboard will be saved. And again, for Uncheerful Ends as well, like, when you look at this lineup, this is still a young roster. Like, this isn't really Fade's touch. This isn't really a roster, as Pagsy will get the goal, fair enough. That would have expectations to hit the Gauntlet and be like a top 4 team in OCE. Like, this is a team, their goal, I think, for right now, should be consistent top 8, should be consistently getting to this level and playing against teams like Serrani to learn from and quickly improve from and maybe get a win or two, like, on the way through. The fact that they got here over Tiki Taka shows that they are, you know, a little bit legitimate and they're making more steps in that right direction, but Serrani realistically should be another level for them.
Could be, and at the moment are. 1 minute remains on the clock. The scoreline sits at 3-1, and it is Serrani looking to start this finals off right. Ball drops in front of Kaka as the words refuse to leave my mouth. In my defense, it's like 5 a.m. here, okay? I've only had an hour's sleep for, but why are you doing this to me?
Because you've done it to me on how many EU broadcast fades?
So
Double
often.
touch, not going to get that goal. Now you know what it's like. Now you know what it goes through. All those, you know, late night Navi streams. This is, your brain is where my brain is at, okay? Except at least
Just
this gameplay is interesting.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting so far. I can't argue with you on that. It's been fun. I hope it continues to be that way because this has been a pretty steady win from Serrani in game 1 as this looks like it might be one more goal for the road. The pinch down fades does manage to get it. Less a pinch, more a slap to get that one under the bar.
Yeah, it looked like he was doing everything he could to make sure that wasn't going to be a goal there at the end. Yeah, good touch from Fades though, does find it. If that had gone out, I think you just award like the game to Uncheerful Ends. You just give him that win.
Yeah, maybe. Can Cheery get one back? The consolation goal? No boost.
Nah.
Kickoff. Fair enough. Pagsy takes it. It'll drop. Overtime, not a chance. 4-1 the final score, and Serrani, like I said, that was a very mature performance from Serrani, right? Up against maybe the younger team of Uncheerful Ends. They kind of just controlled the game from start to end.
And it was Pagsy and Fates who was doing it as well. It wasn't Kaka, which is, I think, a good sign for them. And it shows that they're very confident, I feel like, in this matchup as well. Kaka was the one who was playing a lot further back, although they did have the most shots in the game for that team. But they were never really threatening touches. It was just kind of like, you know, the shots that you make to set up a teammate after the defensive touch. Was good stuff, though, from Serrani overall. I liked how all three of them got a bit more involved. And I kind of like this approach from them. I think if they continue this controlled game, they have a little bit more speed. They have a little bit more mechanics. They should be the stronger team right now, and they're playing like it.
And I said before we started this series, Formal, that I was maybe a little bit worried for Uncheerful Ends based on the relative kind of low-scoring nature of their semi-final compared to this, because Serrani lost games when things got out of control quickly against them, when goals started just falling in, and they kind of just let the game slip away from them. And in that first match, I think I did kind of see the signs of that, right? Uncheerful Ends did not have any player who looked as threatening as Hawk did in that last series. They didn't look to have anyone who was kind of forcing the issue on that opposition goal line. And so Serrani get comfortable on defense and then show that they have the talent at the other end of the pitch without even really getting Kaka involved. Only made one really strong run down the middle over the course of that game. So there's still pressure to be unlocked here for Serrani. If they remain comfortable, I could almost see this being a sweep.
I'm kind of leaning with you as well, at the way how game 1 looked. Obviously, game 2, everything could change as well, so I don't want to start, you know, bringing out the brooms just yet. Had that kickoff goal gone in, I would have liked the brooms, or at least the Men in Black sort of red beam thing that erases your memory. Either way, Cheery looking for Matthew. They're not going to connect on this one. Fades has a chance to get underneath it. Morse is a weaker touch. Here comes Kaka down the middle. Shots on, and Cheery has the save.
But that is one of those shots that we saw a lot of from Kaka in the last game, right? You said highest score or highest shot amount on the scoreboard for Serrani. It's just set up all of this follow-up pressure. And I don't know if it's the pressure that made that one go in, but yeah, the defense just let it get to them.
He brings out the worst in you. What was that, Matthew? He just jumped backwards.
I did fully reversed out of the way of that ball.
Dude, it's like, again, it's year 8 soccer. Like, you know, oh, that ball's getting hit hard. I don't want to hurt my hands. I'm going to duck out the way.
I don't want to be the guy who brings up, you know, in-game chat, but Fades did just say cheers, boss, after that goal, which I think that is probably the occasion when it is most reasonable to say that.
So Kaka wasn't moving for the first, like, 30 seconds of this next point, and the team did not call a timeout. They just kept playing regardless. I don't know if that was a complete DC and they were, like, out of the voice chat or what happened there, but hey, Serrani, even in the 2v3, the defense able to hold.
Yeah, and here is Kako with the ball. Could try and set up Fades. Goes alone instead. Matthew collects Morse with a chance to move forward. Back to Matthew, but can't beat out the last defender. Good defense, and it holds again for Serrani. Kaka gets a great ball forward. Sets Fades up with a lot of space, a lot of time, a lot of boost. Will get demoed though. Pagsy with a follow-up. Will not beat out Cheery. Kaka will launch it onto the back wall, but Morse is there to collect.
I have been liking Cheery's defense. Cheery has been the most consistent member so far, ignoring them driving into the post right there. They have been the most consistent member. I don't even know if that was caught on screen. I hope it wasn't. But they are looking good when under pressure. The problem is I got to see that same consistency from the others right now. I've got to see that from Morse and Matthew if they're going to consistently hold off these Serrani attacks.
And Serrani, something we are seeing from them now that we saw a little bit less of in that last series is they're just looking for big 3-man setup plays right now, right? There's passing going on with all 3 members moving forward, and oh my god, Fades!
Woo, boy. This is more of the Fades I wanted to see. This is the Fades I was kind of like talking about previously. It was just a nice redirect down and in, don't get me wrong, but again, this player, when you look at that spring split, a lot of people were talking like Fades, on a bubble team, but could be one of those players who could pop out. A lot of excitement around him. It's the touches like that and those key moments that can kind of keep that excitement up high. And again, on this Serrani team, like this is the type of team that you want to be on to make your mark. Again, the potential here is huge. I know Fades is kind of coming in, I think, as the sub. Normally it would be Finn playing, but when you're subbing in for a high caliber team, you got to make high caliber plays. Good save from Kaka on the line.
Fades has had a couple of absolutely monstrous redirects at pretty critical times in both the semi-final and now in the final as well. It was in game 4, I think it was the Fade redirect from close to target that still managed to beat out defenders, absolutely sent them nowhere. That really kind of got them into that game 5, or at least started the momentum that got them there. So yeah, big performance from Fades, definitely making their mark on this entire run so far this evening.
Yeah, they've been looking incredibly strong right now. Kaka's going to try to take it over the top. Has Fades. Oh, no, they just let it drop. Matthew, that's more of the Matthew we want to see. Has the save off the boat. Minute and a half, though, needing 2 goals. And Pagsy's just going to put one straight into Matthew. Fades, gets bumped up high, but the ball's still going to fall down low. Matthew again makes the backboard read. So much pressure being put on by a team already with a 2-goal advantage. It's just been impossible for Uncheerful Ends to generate anything so far in the second game.
They gotta find an explosive counterattack in them somewhere, because there is 3 players in front of there. Not so often the crossbar will save away from Pagsy. And here is potentially that explosive counterattack as 3 players push forward, and we're back within 1.
All right, so yeah, that was, you know, the aggression not coming through. The shot from Pagsy should have gone in. Shout out to the conversation we had off stream. Like, that shot should have gone in. It didn't quite make it, and I love that quick counter. I love how they're able to put it through.
Yeah.
Problem is, it wasn't Game 5 overtime. If it was Game 5 overtime, Pagsy makes that. Like, that
Pagsy would have scored that 100% of the time.
Exactly. If it's a champs field overtime, Pagsy hits that shot. That's all I'd say.
I like the pass, but the touch from Cheery, I'm less of a fan of. And I really don't like that touch from Morse as Fades bounces one off the crossbar. Well, there was a shooting chance for sure, and it was largely set up by passing from the opposition team rather than from the players on Serrani's side.
That's back to Fades. That's a good shot. Morse here for the save, but then there's no real follow-up. And again, Serrani now, they don't need to be that aggressive team like they were before. Well, doesn't matter. Pagsy makes up for the missed shot.
Yeah, Fades draws the eye, and it's fair enough. Fades has been monstrous in front of net, and so two players cover Fades, and Pagsy comes flying in, supersonic, and finds the near post and into the back of the net. 3-1 the lead, and 2-0 feels very, very likely at this point.
Yeah, in fact, I'm just going to call it now. It's impossible. It is impossible for Uncheerful Ends to come back in this one. They're going to have to do it in Game 3, but the brooms are coming out now, Alex. Like, we're bringing out the brooms because, unfortunately, I only see 3 total shots from Uncheerful Ends in this second game. That's not going to cut it.
Yeah, as the youth say, Formal, it's Jover, and it's not coming back.
Well, Matthew got the goal, so that's nice.
Yeah, but it's, you know, it's 0 seconds. It's literally not going to help at all, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was still a good goal. I mean, it was a good pass down. I don't really know if Taco was even, like, considering rotating back. It could have been too much effort. Save that energy for Game 3. Gotta, you know, gotta conserve
Save
your
those
energy.
thumb muscles on the boost, exactly. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Formal, I called it before the series even started. I said, I think Uncheerful Ends just, in what we've seen, and I'm largely, you know, going off just score lines in previous series, a little bit of match that we saw on stream earlier on. They're not a team that's putting up big score lines on their opponents. They don't have just that raw firepower. They've been grinding out wins. And Serrani is not a team that are going to let them get away with that, because Serrani are a team that has flair, but is lacking a little bit of consistency.
Serrani is also
I think
a
that's
team-
been the story so far.
Serrani is also a team that gave up 8 goals, though, in the last series.
But that's what I mean, right? You need to start putting those goals in, and that's not the team that Uncheerful Ends is. They're not just kind of putting in 2 goals early in a game and then running away with it. And that's been game 1 and 2 so far. It's a very small sample size, I'm willing to admit that, but they're going to go down by 1 early in game 3, and if your broom wasn't out already, it's definitely time to hit the cupboard.
That's the bad kind of kickoff goal. This is not the kickoff goal we want to see. Game 2 was the right kind. This is the wrong kind. There is a right and a wrong way to score kickoff goals. Boo that play, but also it was a really nice play from Serrani, actually. They just got beat on the cheek, get the goal. That's a sick double.
On target. Good save from Fades on the line, though. It was a sick double. Unfortunately, the save from Fades was equally kind of sick, going towards the own line and still finding momentum to get that ball away.
Yeah, so we're going to see what Pagsy can do. The answer is get dunked on. Here comes Matthew straight down the middle. It was a swing and a miss from Fades, but not from Kaka. Uses the post for that pinch. More pressure coming from the Uncheerful Ends, and this is honestly the longest attack we've seen from them for a good long while right now. They're just dive bombing from the middle of the field. Unfortunately, they don't turn it into a goal.
And they've used so much boost just to kind of prevent what was a bit of a failed back pass
it's
from
open.
getting any worse there. It's maybe open, but it's a little bit slow. It's never going to get back in time. Fades, misses, but Cheery will miss as a result as well. A bad case of the whiffles, Formal.
It's contagious.
Going around.
Yeah, it's been around. Shout out to our producer Dover, by the way, doing a good work under the weather right now. He has the sniffles, not the whiffles. Okay, like actually.
I mean, look, I use your bad joke, and you just actually call out the fact that Dover is sick. It feels a bit cold, is all I'm saying.
No, I'm saying Dover's doing great work while sick. All right, dedication to the Rocket League, working through illness. That deserves a shout out. Okay, we want to make.
Yeah.
That it's not.
Morris maybe needed to make contact there. Matthew's going to score though. Bottom left corner, as that was a weird passage of play leading up to that. Morse just going a bit past, the ball drops dangerously, and then the 50 dropping again. It is literally just pogoing floor to ceiling there, and Matthew takes full advantage.
Yeah, good goal from Matthew. 1, 2, 3, puts it in, and I mean, I'm just going to call Morse. It was the elaborate setup thing. That's all that was.
Sure.
That last goal. It was all for
elaborate.
that end goal. Cheery with just a straight up dunk is going to make this 2-1, and all of a sudden. Looks like the Uncheerful Ends are back in it.
Yeah, Fades. Right idea, maybe. Realized that, there was no way that he was getting up to that ball and waiting for the pass in field to try and cover it off. But ultimately, the execution and covering off that pass just failing. Didn't expect Cheery to be as quick as they were. And Cheery will pick up that go-ahead goal. So lead for the first time in the series for Uncheerful Ends. And can they do to Serrani what Gaming Gamers did to them that semi-final and just balloon this one massively?
don't think they can balloon this one, but they possibly could hold on to this lead and survive. We'll see more straight down the middle, though. Was looking for a bump. He's going to have to sell for a boost deal instead. Meanwhile, FaZe is just taking it right down the center. Has Kaka underneath. That's just going to be a straight shot. Crossbar down, and it goes in with a little help from Matthew.
That's pretty clean from Kaka. The finish was always going to be a little bit difficult, but FaZe drops that perfectly, loads the cannon, and Kaka will fire home. Back to a tied game. Nearly half the game gone, Formal, and that lead didn't last all that long for Uncheerful Ends.
No, it did not. The pass play a bit too consistent, and again, like it feels like Kaka is just kind of that like protective dad at the moment, letting FaZe and Pagsy play around in the sandbox, but if things get dicey, we'll bail them out. Morse, though, off the kickoff, off the pressure, gets that goal. Once again, it is the Uncheerful Ends with the lead.
Yep. Very nice. I'd love to see Kaka step up massive in the back half here of Game 3 to secure the sweep, because has remained pretty quiet since we talked about that earlier on in the series. Has not really had to have any big standout individual moments. It's fine. Kaka's there. He's going to collect it, and he's going to get the follow-up. Morse with a chance to shoot, but it's wide of post, and Pagsy is going to be on the back wall covering it into the middle again. Kaka can look for Pagsy on the side wall here, but Morse gets aggressive off that side wall.
Kaka was like the overprotective dad, or like the dad of the team in that situation. That was not the overprotectors. That was the, here's some firecrackers, go crazy with that defensive touch. Now it's going to be a pass down the middle. Morse with a chance to get that goal. Here comes Kaka now back to the other side. Plays keep away from Cheery. Should be Matthew getting the ball first. Middle of the field. Pass down to Cheery. Swing and a miss.
Kaka absolutely the only reason that things haven't spiraled a little bit in the last 30 seconds or so. Some really, really strong defensive work to keep that ball out of the net. And now it's FaZe and Pagsy with that solid support that Kaka has provided at the back, looking to move forward. It's Kaka pushing it into the opposition half this time around with contest in the middle of the field. Pagsy sitting underneath. FaZe backwards, but should be turning on this one now. Rises and gets the touch. Kaka chasing underneath, collects a full boost, turns off the ball, gives Fury time to contest. Morse is coming in trying to dunk. Pagsy, though, is quick, and FaZe just fully misses it.
But so did Matthew. There's the whiffles again. It has gotten contagious in Game 3, and also, yeah, part of my laughing before, but when Kaka pulled off the play, so did Morse. Like the exact same time. It's like synchronicity, both teams pulling off of that ball. Either way, through the backboard we go. Cheery plays keep away from FaZe. It's a breakaway.
There's no
all the time in the world. Give it to Matthew. 4-2 lead for Uncheerful Ends.
I am getting some flashbacks to the semi-final where when things get maybe a little bit closer, starting to get a little bit over-eager in their hunt for that goal. 3 players at the far end of the pitch, and no chance of stopping any kind of counter-attack on that one. A little bit of a freebie. You'll have to take those if you are Uncheerful Ends. Can they get another one off the kickoff? Maybe put this Game 3 beyond doubt and take their first step towards turning that sweep into a reverse sweep.
I don't know. The broom's been put back in the closet, is all I'm going to say. We've put the broom away, back in the closet. No brooms today.
Halloween is over.
Yeah.
No witches.
No. Yeah, it's a good point, actually. Although I am going to like the Halloween party thing later today, so I might have to put the broom back out for that. Either way, Morse is going to be looking for Cheery. Yeah, Halloween parties after Halloween. It's a weird concept, I know.
That is weird.
But it's what happens when you're busy on Halloween weekend.
Yeah. Oh. Maybe a chance to put one back. Well, nope, it's going to go back the other way. And so what I'm going to say is, Formal, everyone knows that Halloween is over and Christmas season has officially begun. Come on, man.
We're not even in December yet. How can it be Christmas time?
We're barely in November.
I know it's starting, though. If I were to go to any shopping
center,
shopping center with Christmas music is there, I can guarantee you right now.
Miserable. I'm excited. We're getting a 4th game out of this finals. It's guaranteed at this point. I'm not excited about the Christmas music, I promise. I'm not psychopathic. But this is, maybe Serrani showing some of the same weaknesses that they did in the semi-finals, rather, up against Gaming Gamers, where in a close game, they have kind of let it slip away a little bit, but I do still have faith that, this time around, with a 1-game buffer, they could still close this out in 4. Maybe they should still close this out in 4, but it's going to take a better performance than we saw in Game 3.
Yeah, there's going to have to be a bit of a turnaround. We'll see. I mean, the craziest difference for me in that last game, only 3 shots from Serrani, all of them from Kaka. So FaZe and Pagsy,
yeah.
I mean, Daddy Kaka let them cook in the kitchen for a little while, but now it's time, to clean up, get the brooms out, do the dishes. They didn't want to do it. They're wild kids. They just want to do the fun part, right? And so Now they're going to have to try and clean up this series as a team, I think, moving forwards. I want to see Kaka get even more involved, I feel like, than what we saw in the past, even in that game. But for Uncheerful Ends, good job taking what was given to them. I mean, it was a good start, pretty much from the word go in that one, and we'll see if they can keep that momentum into Game 4.
I do kind of love the, let them cook analogy here as well, because it did kind of feel like that was a game that they just needed to get done. It wasn't necessarily going to be glamorous. It was just one that ultimately kind of turned into a bit of a slog in the middle as well. And Fades and Pagsy, they absolutely did not do their chores in Game 3 here. Kaka did a great job on defense, held the line a lot at the back, but Fades and Pagsy just weren't providing the same support in midfield and ultimately turning that into attack that they had been in Game 1 and 2. So they'll need to change something up. Recipe needs to be a little bit different here in Game 4.
I'm not just thinking, like, if Rocket League and OCE did, like, the whole gaming house thing, whose house would be the most fun to visit, and whose would be the house where no one does any of the chores and everything is just, like, a mess and thrown apart? Like,
I can't have strong opinions on this.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Yeah, this is more of a Twitch chat
But
question.
I will say, I want an MTV, cribs style tour with CJ hosting it.
Oh, that would actually be amazing. If when the gaming house does happen, get like CJ. But the question is, which team's gaming house do we send CJ to? Like, that's.
Yeah, and I mean, they're all gamers, so there's going to be some messy bedrooms, and I just want to see, like, the disappointed turn from CJ to the camera as he walks into his 10th bedroom of the series that just has clothes all over the floor.
Oh, dude, the fridge review in, like, a gamer's house would be... Ooh, that would be a little bit... that would be a little bit
fun.
wild. I would... Because it would be... I think gamers, that one right now, at least if we're going from teams in this one, just, like... Hawk's house. I'd be so curious to see what that's like.
Could be fun. We are just getting confirmation on what's happening. It looks like there is a small delay as we make sure that all the players are actually here and ready to play Game 4 of this series. And if we hear anything more, we will, of course, let you know. But in the meantime, we're bantering flawlessly, Formal, and the fact that I've called it out shouldn't detract from the fact that we can continue this.
Yeah, I know exactly. Let's switch that saying. Whose house do they want to see? Nobody. They don't care. They're not listening to us. All right, good.
It's just maths.
Yeah, that's fine. they don't care. I'm now thinking of like the higher end teams as well. I mean,
ideal gases.
The powerhouse, right? That would be fun.
Sure. Mitochondria. Yes. What? I'm just Pavlovianly trained. That's not a word. I'm just fully trained. I hear the word powerhouse, and I just think mitochondria Formal.
What is Pavlovian trained? Is that like
Pavlovian is the dogs where you hear the dinner bell and your mouth starts watering.
Okay, because
Pavlov.
You're in an OCE stream, so when we hear like Pavlova, we think the dessert. All right.
Also delicious. You know what? If someone wants to ring bells and feed me Pavlova, I'm all for it.
Yeah, you got to train them. When the team does well, you get Pavlova, unless you don't like it, in which case you get it when you lose. I know one person. I only know one person who doesn't like Pavlova. They do exist.
Are they diabetic? Because I could understand that being a reason to dislike it.
Not that I think about it, actually. No, I don't think they're diabetic.
It would be fair. I think you'd still like it, but it's, hey, this food might kill me, so that's a decent reason to not be a fan.
Isn't it just like egg white and sugar?
Yes. I mean, that's meringue. It's a lot of sugar. A lot of sugar to make that thing not taste like egg whites. And, a little bit of vanilla extract. Or my sister used to make some rose meringues or coffee meringues as well. Vanilla meringues. You can mix it up in there if you're making your meringues at home. Add some extra flavor in.
So it doesn't just have to be lemon, because it always is lemon. Like that's
Yeah.
I like the idea of
vanilla
rose.
is a great way to go with your meringue. The rose were very nice. It's very, very subtle flavor as rose.
That's why I like rose. It's always about that subtlety.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, now you got me thinking. Now you got me thinking on the cooking train.
Formal event, go out, buy some eggs, and figure out what to do. That's the thing with meringues. You need to figure out something to do with all the yolks when you're done as well, because otherwise you just have a lot of egg yolks sitting around.
I mean, you could use that for... You put it in breakfast. I mean... Yeah.
Just straight to the raw.
Just egg yolks for breakfast. Why not? That's my thinking right now. Protein. Go for it.
Sure. Fair enough. Currently, we are just waiting to see what's going on. Trying to get some players back in. I think we have possibly a chance that there will be a forfeit of Game 4 here in this series. So just trying to make sure we get players back as quickly as possible. I don't want to say anything too much just yet in case we do end up being okay. It looks like we have the player back who was missing at the moment. So hopefully we're good to go, Formula. We will get a Game 4 here.
Yeah, I think we're going to be hopefully on this one right now. Maybe not though. We'll see how it's at. Like obviously, hopefully we'll be able to get into game shortly. Player has given the okay, so that is a good sign. As soon as things get confirmed, they are getting confirmed. All right, I think we're just going to hot drop right into this one. Game number 4 now underway. Apologies for that longer delay, but the best possible outcome, we actually get a Game 4. So let's get into it again. One game away from qualifying Serani. Let's see if they can put it together. Let's see if they can qualify on this one, or if Uncheerful Eds can take us back to Champions Field.
Kaka will be the first player up to that ball and gets under one, nearly gets past the second as well. Cheery managing to make the final block down on that. Fade follow-up, takes it off the back wall. Clever play, results in the goal as Fade will ping-pong that with Cheery and find the first.
Does this count as a kickoff goal? I mean, I saw so many defenders miss.
I don't think so.
No? Okay, good. Then I like that goal. I like it a lot. That's a great way to open this game for Serani on this one.
As you kind of said earlier, right? It's not a kickoff goal if both teams get involved and, there is actual play to get it past. And that was Fades just beating the defense on the line. Yeah,
it was just a straight-up beat. And I think, sometimes external circumstances, can motivate players to do great things. And I'm hoping that's going to be a little bit of the case right now for the Serani side. We'll see how well they can piece it together. We are going to see Matthew coming off that side while looking for a double. Doesn't quite get it.
Not quite. Boost steal away from Morsto as well. And you can see on the other side of the pitch, there was another boost steal away. There was just nothing to work with there for Serani, and they end up getting punished.
It was a little bit panicked on the defense, actually, as well. I mean, a strange double commit in the corner when you could have had someone sit back on post, but it looks like they were pushed forward because Kaka was already there on the post. I don't know. It wasn't the clean defense we had seen from Serani in the past. Good job from the Uncheerful Ends to punish. As we continue along, 2 goals in the first minute. Kaka now down the middle. Won't beat out Matthew.
It was, I think, just fully empty boost tanks on everyone on Serani's side at that other end of the pitch. And as you said, it resulted in that little bit of panic. They just couldn't get it clean. But with full boost tanks, they are still scary. And this is why they are pushing hard. That's a good bump. Pagsy will just miss. Yep. And it would have been a hard shot to finish anyway. There was defense coming across the cover. Kaka, double touch down into Matthew. And it's a clear away. Morse to follow. Morse to try and beat Pagsy. Unable to do so. Maybe a chance for Fade to do something. Trying to pass across to Kaka. Hasn't worked out. Matthew in the middle. Pads only means that there's not a great first touch. But just slow playing it and really putting the fear of God into the defense there. Serani were very slow to push forward on that.
Yeah, that they were, but now they'll get another chance on the attacking half. It's going to be FaZe leading the charge. Kaka right behind. We'll get a better angle at the ball. Keep away from Morse. Can't keep away from Cheery, who misses. Instead, it'll be Matthew bailing the team out. But again, it's very slow play, and it's allowing Serani to really set themselves up in that middle of the field right now. Morse now goes up high. Kaka should be able to chase this up. Wants to drop it down to themselves with the reset, but got bumped at the last moment by Cheery.
Yeah, that reset actually allowed Kaka to start to generate some... Off the bar. It was off the bar, and it was out. And there was a defender there. So it's safe for the moment. Back across face-off net. Nobody to follow on to it. Morse, can he get past one? Nope. Fades collect, but it's cleared a little bit by a blue car on the way out, and Morse now gets the beat. Beats again. Great 50 against Kaka, but Fades comes in, bumps, collects ball, and wins the 50 for the team as well.
This has, been awkward now. Cheery opened that goal, and it was after Serani put so much pressure on that attacking half. They just kind of give it away a little bit too slow on a couple of these challenges. End result is a 2-1 lead now for the Uncheerful ending.
That is something that has plagued Serani all evening long, is those open nets appearing at the worst time possible. Fades off the kickoff. Launches it under the bar.
Have we had a kickoff goal every single game?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, multiple, probably.
Yeah.
We're averaging at least 2 a game, I think.
That's ridiculous. That goal was, that second touch, exactly where it needed to be. It's practiced. It's it's going through. And Phage is looking to do the exact same thing again, but this time faked the second touch. Matthew read it, though. I thought we were going to see back-to-back same goal for a moment.
Yeah, I think Phage that time around just didn't have, like, it was a little bit further away and didn't pick up any pads on the way through, so no chance of getting around it. And so it will be on Cheerful End surviving the kickoff that time around and going on a little bit of a hunt of their own. Kaka's outrun that ball, and now there's a little bit of space at the back, but Phage is quick up to that one. That was scary defense, though. It was maybe not the way they would have chosen to do it if they could do it again, but it has worked out. Morse will miss that ball. Phage will get a chance to shoot. Goes off the crossbar. Pagsy! Oh my lord! The first whiff was a bait.
This is the most Pagsy play ever. Missed the clear across the middle just to get the sick backboard. Oh, beautiful, beautiful touch down and in. Serrati now with that 3-2 lead. There you go, Serrati. Will they be able to hold on to it? I mean, a kickoff goal would be devastating. Cheery has a chance. That's Matthew across the middle. Goes to Mortz instead. Now Matthew goes up, and in it goes!
I mean, this is another one of those gray area kickoff goals, right? It comes off the immediate kickoff pressure. The defense doesn't really get set, but Matthew still has work to do to turn that one in with two defenders coming and sneaking it underneath both means that we're back to a tied game. And on Cheerful Ends, they're not going out quietly on this one.
No, they are not. Well, we'll see if Serrati can respond in kind. As Cheery will be looking for Morse up high, who wins it out. Going to be a deep clear over to Kaka on the other side, who immediately slows it down just to dribble it over the top of Matthew Goutt's bump. And that means Fades will back off on the play initially. Instead, read Morse to Cheery. A little bit of ping pong. Pass across to Morse, who wanted to go back to Cheery. They don't connect, so the ball just goes to no man's land. There's absolutely no one around there.
Looking for Matthew even, who had just rotated fully back to collect boost, and it's completely killed the momentum on that attack. It's set up maybe Serrani for an attack at 1 minute remaining on the clock. This could be bad. Whichever team scores now, full advantage heading into the final minute of the game. Again, that pass goes
Fades
nowhere.
with the
Again, a blue car collects. Fades with the bump. It turns into a demo, but Pagsy's first touch was to absolutely nowhere.
That if could have put that one straight, it would have been the goal. A bit of a missed opportunity for Serrani. Really disappointing on that. And now Pagsy will get Fades underneath, wanting the backward. Goes for the reset instead. Save made from behind. Matthew has been the most improved player this series. I will say that, particularly on that defensive side of the ball. Now plays keep away from Pagsy. Fades plays keep away from Matthew. And Morse doesn't want the challenge. Has to rotate back to the corner. Fades maintains a semblance of possession. But in the end, Kaka pulls off. Morse down the middle. Finally creates that breathing room.
It may not be a lot of breathing room for Serrani, though. That shot goes absolutely nowhere. Pagsy will collect with a full tank of boost. Good 50, but it drops to Morse. There's a player on the backboard. Can Cheery do anything? Misses the touch, but it nearly waterfalls down. Fades collect, uses all of the tank of boost in order to get to that ball, and so there's no good clear. Feels like we're going to overtime. Feels like this could be the winner yet for Serrani.
Yeah, they just need that one more goal. I mean, Pagsy is the player to look out for in these clutch situations. Will usually find a way. Off the kickoff, here comes Pagsy, just going to clear it down the middle to Kaka, who's going to try to go for a ground pitch. No, goes for a double touch off the ground. It was a fake second touch, but Matthew will find that top corner and make the save.
Kaka nearly finally gets loud in game 4 here, but it doesn't work out. And now Pagsy's very slow moving. Fates has been baited by Pagsy in that play as well. Kaka's quick. Pagsy's going long. Morse is alone and needs to do it all. It's infield to Kaka. A tough shot, though. Couldn't get around the ball in time to get a clean one. Fades over the top. 2 players on the line. Go for that. And Pagsy will just let it roll into the middle. That can't just go in. Fades is back in time.
Yeah, Fades was back, but the pressure is still there. Matthew, backboard. Morse was behind the midfield line, but Pagsy's attempt was wild and out of control, so it's Morse versus everybody, and, well, it will come backward. Matthew posting, but Cheery will not get the shot because Kaka stayed stationary, gets the save. Awkward touch from Morse. Cheery plays keep away. Kaka doesn't get the touch, but Cheery can't find the right angle either. Oh, it's chaotic in front of the net right now. No one able to get that killing blow.
Oh, it's going the other end of the pitch. It's not on target, and Matthew has it anyway. Serrani have gotten away with daylight robbery. The fact that they have not let any of those goals in. The win by rights should have been on Cheerful Ends, but we're still in overtime. 90 seconds gone, and now maybe Serrani start to do some attacking of their own. Pagsy goes for one, Fades in the middle, but Cheery is so quick to attack that, and it's up to Kaka to play defender, as we've seen so often in this series.
Matthew versus Fades. Matthew had the beat. We'll put it on target. Pagsy can't go Opposite side had to throw it to Cheery. Morse was in a much better position, so a little bit of the cross up. Still Cheery. To Kaka. Oh, there's nowhere safe to put this ball. Has to pop it up high. Fades versus Matthew. Sees Matthew set up Morse. But Kaka off that backboard has that read. Now gets the dunk on Cheery. Here comes Fades to end the game. It's off the post and out.
Kaka, that was miraculous defense. The twisting to get that ball in front of the car every time. None of those 50s got lost, and Kaka could end it. But the shot will get blocked down by Matthew. It was a great pass up. It's a good demo by Morris to take Kaka out of the play for a few seconds. But we've seen how dangerous Fades alone can be. It's over one. Pagsy's in the middle, but not going for the ball. Pagsy to turn on this one. Attack it with full boost off the ceiling. Looking for a teammate in the middle. Bounces down. Kaka's going backwards. Fades not beaten. And the orange team push forward. Uncheerful end wants ended here.
Oh, couldn't get it down low enough. A bit unfortunate there. Matthew wants the read, but runs into Morse. Teammates bump into each other. Cheery bails them out. Double commit by the defense. Pagsy has to slow it down, but here comes Matthew. Gets the beat. Where is Morse? Middle of the field, not committing. So a bit more time than I think Serrani realized to slow it down. They do so. Ball goes to the middle of the field. Kaka collects. Can't beat Matthew, though. Matthew has just been getting stronger and stronger, scaling for the late game. Here comes Morse again, down the middle. And here's Matthew stalking, but not taking the shot.
Oh, Fades was, I mean, we've all been in those situations. No boost, just watching as the ball is over your head and saying, I hope someone can do something about this, because I can't. And it does get cleared. Fades lives to survive. Go and collect some pads, and the overtime rolls on deep into its 4th minute now as we do approach that 4-minute mark. It's Kaka in control. Zero boost. Tries to flick, but can't get it over Morse's head. The bump isn't good enough. Matthew clears. Kaka collects boost. Is looking to just bully that ball into the middle, but can't find the angle.
Cheery still has it stuck in the corner. Fades going to make the play from underneath, but Matthew got there first. Now Kaka pop up. Easy touch from Morse. This bot times for Pagsy to rotate back. What does Pagsy do with the space? Gets the beat on Morse. Matthew, though, cheeky touch underneath to throw it to Cheery, so the pressure should stay for the uncheerful ends as Fades now needs to center it. Morse helps them out, but put too much pepper behind it, so Pagsy gets there first. Across the Kaka, into the corner we go. Cheery misses. Kaka's double. Nope, not there. It was a bit too quick for the ball.
Yeah, Fades wasn't there to collect either. There's a chance here. There's nobody in net. Kaka's attacking. Just waits, sits, lets the touch come to him instead. Pagsy now forward. Ball goes high. Should be defenders there. Morse gets it over Pagsy, but Kaka's sitting and waiting for that one. Trying to collect with Fades, but not able to find the link up. And now they're under threat at the back. Kaka needs to turn in, gets demoed. And Pagsy will finally take it away and push it only a quarter of the way up the field. As now Cheery keeps this attack going. This overtime will not end. It will now as Morse goes over the defense. I think was watching Matthew Formal. They took your advice and it was bad advice.
I mean, you don't expect Morse to hit that angle, but there he goes. 4 minutes, 44 seconds in game 4. It makes sense. Uncheerful ends. 1 game away now from that reverse sweep. We're going to game 5.
I mean, maybe, yeah, the brooms, they were put away for a second there after game 3 ended in favor of uncheerful ends. This could be a very cheerful end, though, to this bracket. The challenger bracket as uncheerful ends are on the brink of a reverse sweep. That was also, what a crazy game, right? Can we just take a second? That was a 6-goal game, you know, high scoring, goal a minute, and then we went through nearly 5 minutes of overtime.
Yeah, that was a bit of a marathon for these players, and so now gearing up to go to this game 5 is the do or die match for both of these sides. Now, last time we were in a game 5, Serrani won in overtime, but there was a lot different circumstance around that game than this one. This one, they just gave up that big overtime. Momentum is about as in uncheerful ends as it could possibly be, and Matthew has been playing absolutely unreal since game 3, so we'll see what happens as we get ready to go into this 5th game. Who's going to put this one away? Champions Field for the 3rd time in this stream. We just love this stadium. Here we go. 5 minutes, place on that clock. Only one team can go to the Gauntlet. Only one team can play the Gremlins. This game will determine who it is.
Can either team get out to an early start, maybe off a kickoff, but Morse will be denied by Pagsy on this occasion at least. We might manage to make it 10 seconds into a game without seeing a goal. Cheer, for it has happened.
Yeah, we did it. We survived. We survived a kickoff goal for once, but I mean, there'll be more opportunities, you would have to think, unless we get a 0-1 overtime victory, which would Oh no, even then there'd be a second kickoff. No matter what,
There'd still be another kickoff.
it'd
yeah,
have to be
yeah.
a 0-second goal to make it 1-0. To have
Sure.
only one
Okay.
kickoff in a game. Pagsy.
I'll say it. I don't think that's happening because Pagsy's just going to score right now. No big save for Matthew, who you have rightfully praised as growing over the course of this series to really push the team back into it. Pass infield, Kaka will get denied as Morse comes from over the back shoulder to keep that away. Matthew, the ball pinched by Fades, back up into this orange half we go. Maybe there's room for Pagsy, but just blocked down by Chiri, who went quickly off the line to save that.
Big moment. Big moment right there. The fact that, again, the Uncheerful Ends defense holds on. I mean, this Uncheerful Ends defense has been the largest thorn, I feel, on the side of Serrani throughout it. Pagsy unable to get underneath it. I mean, the touches have been good. The goal line saves have been clutch. And Chiri's ankle! No, it's posted out. Morse won't be able to clean it up.
Yeah, both teams are looking. They want this game 5. They are all going at it. There's nobody there. That's a goal. Fade scores. And maybe Uncheerful Ends wanted it a little bit too much. They've fallen into the Serrani trap of sending too many players forward and not respecting that counter-attack.
Yeah, I don't know if that was like a double or a triple commit or what you would call that one right there. That was awkward from the Uncheerful Ends. A very uncheerful goal for them. Serrani with that lead once more. I have a feeling, though, it's tough to hold on to a 1-goal lead in this one. We haven't really seen it yet. We'll see what the Uncheerful Ends can bring. Matthew going to lead that charge off that backboard. Pagsy commits, gets bumped by Morse, so that will mean a Chiri touch. Kaka on the backboard is going to slow it down, wants to go for the solo play, beats Matthew over the top, beats, well, no one else, because Morse was able to clear it out.
Kaka runs into a little bit of trouble there trying to go the entire length of the pitch. There's only so much boost that you can get when you're up in the air, and I think definitely starting to run out there was Kaka. As Chiri will take on Kaka and win in that one. Fate, though, watches that flick and reads it all the way. Goes underneath Matthew. It's going to be an orange card there first, but it was a miss on the first one. Chiri launches it along, then Pagsy just touches it safely into the corner, buying time, but the follow-up shot is good. Chiri demos Fades, but on until Fades got that save, and the play continues, still threatening this blue net, but nobody could get it there, as it was a back off from Uncheerful Ends as the boost ran out and they needed to reset.
Yeah, they're looking for something here, Kaka. Through that corner. Didn't get the touch that they needed, so going to go back to the other end, where we're going to watch Morse touch it down. Kaka rotates back, backboarding it. Again, it's the slow play, and it's the reason why the slow play on defense for the most part is working out. It's because of how deep the rotations are right now for the Uncheerful Ends. They're really giving a lot of defensive space over to this blue side, who are just content to slow it down, get educated touches, just make sure nothing threatening is coming their way. So, yeah, I'd like to see a little bit tighter of attack from the team that last time got too tight and gave up a goal.
Yeah. Speaking of tight form, well, 1-0. A demo opens up a little bit of space, and a game where neither side has really been giving either team much space at all to work with. They have still been charging that ball down the entire time, but that potentially leaves you vulnerable. Kaka getting beaten by Morris. Now Fades looking to beat people. What a flick over the top with no boost left. Can't catch up to it. That was a beautiful flip reset, nearly putting the ball on target in the first place.
Underneath, Kaka has that touch. Morse is going to play keep away. Now Kaka looking for Pagsy. They connect, but the shot wasn't near where it needed to be. Time running out for the Uncheerful Ends. They need this goal. It is going to be Matthew, but again, Kaka just intercepted. Just patient play from the defense.
They did lose the 2 matches that they lost in that semi-final. They lost 1-0. This is a scoreline that Uncheerful Ends unfortunately are familiar with, and they struggled to break through in the semi-final. Will they be able to change the story in this final, rewrite history a little bit, and get themselves back into the game? Less than a minute remains. Chiri's collecting boost. That touch is just left space though, and Pagsy eventually decides to attack it. So much time was given, and Uncheerful Ends just can't afford to give up soft possessions like that.
No, they can't. Pagsy! They're not going to get that goal. There's going to be Matthew, who will clear it opposite side. Fades looking to chase it down. Through the corridor we go. Ball bounces in the middle field. Chiri has a chance. Pagsy's going to pop it up, and here comes Morse. That's a demo, but Pagsy diving from behind makes the save. It could be the Gauntlet securing one, because there's only 15 seconds left.
This end of this game has absolutely snuck up on us. It has been tense, but here we are at the end. The scores remain shockingly at 1-0. There's maybe one last attack, but that clear could be a Pagsy. Got it away, has been the hero in this entire last passage of play for Sunari. And
that's
will
it.
this be the end? I think it is. Pagsy one more time. Who else could it be at the end? Surani will pick the win up. It took them maybe one more game, two more games than it looked like it would, Formal. But they do ultimately walk away with the title of Challenger Champions and a spot for the Gauntlet tomorrow.
Yeah, they're on to take on the Gremlins, so a good job to them. Look, I'm going to suggest something. All right, and for the Serrani team, they don't have to accept it. But when Finn comes back, put Finn on the starting lineup, sub Pagsy out until Game 5. And then you put Pagsy back in. That way you
Have we
always...
considered mid-game substitution for the Game 5 overtime?
Ooh, I don't know if that's allowed, so you might have to just put him in for that. But get Game 5 Pagsy and just always put him in Game 5. He'll be the Champions Field merchant because, I mean, back-to-back Champions Field did look great in that, but overall, Serrani, they were the team that we were going to be expecting to see throughout and kind of make that journey to get through there. And they had a tough journey. I mean, they played a lot of games. 3 trips to Champions Field for Serrani against the Titans, against the Gaming Gamers, and against Uncheerful Ends. But they got through all 3 times.
They absolutely did. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they go in the Gauntlet tomorrow as well, because they're throwing a little bit of unpredictability into every match at the moment. Their peaks are incredibly high on their
spoiler.
day. On their match, kind of maybe looking like they can beat anyone, Formal.
Look, I don't want to say spoiler too much, but apparently whoever wins that semifinals is winning 4 games in the grand final right now. That's just
oh my god. The script, quick.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we covered it up. No one saw anything. That's not. But yeah, no, obviously the Gauntlet's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. It's going to be a tough run for sure. Gospel of Locky, Power, and Pioneers all look that next step up. The Quick Trip Pioneers, I should be saying. I mean, they all look that next step up. And I mean, the Pioneers, they ran the Gauntlet last week, no less. They went all the way from the relegation match through to the end. I'm pretty sure that was how it went. Like they had to go the distance. So don't be surprised if a team like Serrani could do something similar tomorrow.
And I mean, Serrani, maybe that was all they were doing today. They got their practice in. They formed their own mini Gauntlet. As you said, went to Game 5 on 3 of the 4 matches they played were Game 4 and the other one. They played nearly the maximum amount of Rocket League to get through that Challengers bracket. And overall, yeah, I mean, fun team to watch. And I say it again, there's an element of chaos that they're throwing into the Gauntlet tomorrow that I think is going to make things just that little bit spicier if they can, especially if they can make it past their first round matchup with Gremlins.
I think they have a good chance to as well. I kind of like them in that matchup. I mean, the Gremlins can be that chaotic team as well, but I have a feeling Serrani, if they continue to play well, if we see more of their peaks, I could even see them possibly challenging and getting into that semifinal. Now, once you go up against Power, that's where things get a little bit, we'll see. But I think we can see a deep Serrani run if they're able to do it. But that's not the only Rocket League happening tomorrow as well. We're also going to be having our open qualifiers for next week happening at the same time. So if you're looking to play in this event, well, qualifiers, they're tomorrow. So make sure you sign your team up for that and then have the stream on in the second monitor to keep yourself motivated. I don't know. There's a lot of ways you can do it.
Yeah. I think that's about going to wrap things up for us here, Formal. Thank you very much for having me on. I got to tell you, I'll be watching VODs of the Gauntlet tomorrow because it is bedtime and I ain't doing the midnight run 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, that's completely fair. Don't worry, I'll be with you probably later in the week doing another stupid Friday morning, so I'll be on that EU time. But a big shout out, a big thank you to all the teams who participated. A big thank you to Dover, again, running productions while sick, and a thank you to all of you for tuning in. Do watch along tomorrow starting 1 p.m. on Victoria, New South Wales time. It's going to be noon for us here in Queensland. I believe 10 a.m. for those in Western Australia. And if you're in New Zealand, it's a 3 p.m. start time. I saw some of you in the chat earlier today, so don't worry. You got the prime time viewing. You're lucky. But for everyone else as well across the globe, I don't know your time zones. I don't care to learn them. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.